Kia ora everyone, no mai haramai, hello and welcome to the capital. Great to be back in Wellington tonight. Saturday night hoops in the NZNBL coming your way. First of all though, of course, the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Gotta love this competition. 4x4 minute quarters, up and back, only featuring the players coming off the bench later tonight in the NZNBL. Hope you're well. Of course, we've had a break over the international week, or weekend I should say. But good to be back with you for tonight's game between the Saints and the Jets. Justin Nelson, Miles Pearce in the commentary position. Miles, great to catch up with you, mate. How are you?
No, mate, I'm very, very good. Been a while. It's good to see you.
Yeah, no, it has been a while, but as always, that big, broad smile on your face tells us everything about the games coming up tonight. Let's have a look at the Jet starters. In fact, sorry, no, let's have a look at the Sky Broadband Rapid League ladder. That is pretty important as well. The Rams having a win earlier today. Look at those Giants, though.
I know, rolling. Back-to-back years, too.
Reigning champs, reigning champs. Saints sitting in second as they search for win number 9 today. We look at the bottom half of the ladder. Now, the Jets sitting in 10th, 4 and 8. Don't be fooled, though. I think 5 of their games have been decided by 1 or 2 points or less. So they're going to be right in the mix here, you would think. There they are in their camo. Thada Paese, the league's, well, the competition's leading scorer. There he is, the number 1. Look out for him. Crowley, Napier, Matabananzo, Lambert and Wynyard. That's the way the Property Brokers Jets will start. And the Saints not too far away from stepping on the floor. Dougal Meter Evans Jr. Great to see Caslow. Sam Gold, his first game back, of course, out of Milligan University in Tennessee, back with the Saints during the collegiate break in the US. Arthur Pilcher and Luca Richards. That's the way the Saints will start for this one.
Not a bad little pickup for the Saints Rapid League team, adding Gold to that roster.
Well, we also get to see Jordan Nartai later tonight as well. Here's the Chemist Warehouse, head-to-head between the Saints and the Jets in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And I just want to draw your attention to the last time these two teams met. It was a really good game.
Yeah, for both Rapid League and NBL. These two teams have, and I've been involved with both these teams over the years, so there's a little bit of a rivalry.
There is.
So no matter where they are on the table, no matter what's going on, it's not too far from Wellington to Palmy. They've built up a rivalry over the years, so it's always good to see it play out.
I'm hearing a couple of bus loads coming down from Palmerston North as we speak, so they will be in the house tonight. Sam Pan, Amy Jo Clark, Elijah Mareko are your barter card officials, and we are just about set for a start here tonight. On the waterfront, between the Saints and the Jets, Sky Broadband Rapid League coming your way first up. NZNBL a little later tonight. Arch rivals, Richards up against Wynyard, and Wynyard gets the tap. Luca Richards, of course, a former Jet. There's a few players across these two teams that have spent time in opposite colours. Gold straight into the action with the steal. Gets up, finishes off the glass. Saints are on the board.
We were just talking about the addition of Gold. Great to see him there. Defensive effort turned to offense. You're right, there have been a number of players who have gone up or down the highway, representing both teams.
Here's one of them. Thada Paese was with the Saints last season, averaging 17 points a game in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, competition's top scorer. He's going to get up a shot here, and he draws contact from Caslow Evans Jr. Good matchup that is. The former teammates locking horns in this one tonight.
Yeah, great shifty little move there with the handle. Able to create some separation and just got Caslow Evans lunging and earns himself a trip to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line.
Already has over 300 points in this competition in a season and a half. He's got some good kicks on tonight as well at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Yeah, I don't know if they're good. They wouldn't fit me. If they don't fit me, they're not going to be great.
You got big feet.
No, I can still probably steal some off Tortoko though.
He's got big feet as well. 2 apiece. Here's Gold on the attack, showing some real aggression. And Sam Gold will head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe at the other end.
I do like that attack. There have been some teams that we've seen this season sort of just fall into the lull of the safety of the three-point line, taking the ball off the handoff and attacking the rim. Great to see that aggression.
Well, he was a handy addition midway through last season for the Saints, and doing the same after another successful season in Tennessee.
His brother has represented the Jets.
Oh, big collision there. Dougal-Meter and Pilcher. Some friendly fire. Good to see them both back to their feet. Yeah, Ben Gold's been a handy addition to the Tall Blacks program.
Tom Gold was with the Jets as well last couple of years.
Only three brothers in the family, isn't there? Yep. There's no others we don't know of.
Ben's over in the States. Was at Marquette. They made the NCAA tournament this year.
That's right. Matabananzo. There is Sam Gold defending the man we're speaking of. Corner 3 goes down for Crowley Napier. And straight back the other way. Caslow Evans Jr. to the hoop, but he ran into Totoko Wynyard. Dougal-Meter chipping in on Thada Paese. Baseline drive off the glass. Too much on it for Crowley Napier.
And if we know anything about this Saints team, from the things we've watched and seen so far, this Rapid League team will really push the pace.
Richards fouled there on the baseline by Wynyard. Early stages in this first quarter here tonight. Big game. In fact, it's going to be 2 shots here. Looked like it was a pass off the baseline, but Richards, there we go. It's just been corrected by the Bartercard officials. I thought it looked a little bit odd that maybe Luca Richards sucked everybody in then because he walked to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Why not? Oscar Oswald used to do that very, very well in for the junior Tall Blacks, and playing, he used to just walk to the free throw line every single time.
Why not?
Even if he wasn't the one that got fouled.
Oh, up and under. Lovely looking attempt there from Tyson Thada Paese. Huge game in the Sal's NBL earlier today. If you've just joined us, the Rams in a thriller getting home over the Tuatara, 96-92. What a game that was.
And what a performance from the Tuatara, who are a little undermanned, losing the great asset in Dave O'Hickey, who's off to the NBA Summer League.
Well, we thought he was going to NBA Summer League, but I did see that he'd signed a contract with a team in Sydney over the last few days.
Okay, so maybe just something to do while he waits. Summer League,
to go to the Summer League.
Yeah, Summer League is a little bit way away yet.
Yeah, the hot rumour, as Dougal-Meter looks from distance, the hot rumour is Dave O'Hickey will be suiting up for the Chicago Bulls at the NBA Summer League.
It was on social media, so it's got to be true, right?
Well, there you go. It's been confirmed. No longer a hot whisper. Turnover. Matabananzo steps into the lane. Needs some help. Has no one there with him. And look at this. Straight back the other way. Richards just scooped it underarm looking for gold. Gets it back now. Hands it off to Caslow Evans Jr. Wrong-footed Thada Paese. And will be rewarded with a couple of shots from the Chemist Warehouse. That was a nice move.
Oh, great little move. But the ball movement from the Saints right now is very, very good as they look to push in transition at every opportunity they can.
Now, some big news about an hour ago here at TSB Bank Arena. A massive blow for the Jets tonight in the Sal's NBL. No Corey Webster, ruled out with a hip injury. He did miss the last game before the international break with that same injury. So clearly it has not healed. Same hip, same injury. And it's now not a 2-week injury, Miles, because we've had that international break. It actually spans over 3 weekends.
Yeah, so hopefully he's back on court soon. And the Jets are a little more dangerous because anyone's going to get some opportunities, as we see Thada Paese miss on that 3. So the Jets could be a little more dangerous, knowing that everyone's role is going to be a little bit bigger, but they will definitely miss his nearly 25 points a game.
Yeah, and they have made an import change during the break as well. Eric Williams Jr. gone. Oh, Crowley Napier, another triple
from the opposite corner.
Handy basket.
And you just mentioned the Jets have made a change. Not the only team to do so.
No, they haven't. So Eric Williams Jr. Sent home during the international break. And Quinton Rose comes in for his first game tonight. Foul call there. All tangled up. Luca Richards involved. There'll be a couple of shots coming up for him.
He's a big man. It's hard to throw a man of that size to the ground.
So we'll get our first look tonight, Miles, at Quinton Rose, the new import for the property brokers Manawatū Jets. And I've got to say, stay tuned, because there is a fascinating story that has been brought to my attention on Quinton Rose.
You always have the scoop. I love it. I love it.
Jordan Natai there on screen a moment ago.
Yeah.
Great to have him back. He was a sign and trade during the trade window. Rejoining the Saints. Late shot here. No, Gold with a hand. And just half a second on the clock. Yeah, wait for that story on Quinton Rose.
I will wait with bated breath,
It is
friend.
an absolute beauty. And it just sums up the Cells NBL completely. So there's always something going on.
There is indeed.
Not sure what Mata Bonanzo and Thada Paesa were trying to organise between themselves there, but that'll do us. 1 quarter down tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, and we're all tied up between the Saints and the Jets, 8 apiece. You mentioned some of the other changes across the league. Jose Perez no longer with the Nuggets.
Yeah, and he was a big part of what they had been doing. So it'll be interesting to see what changes they make and how they move forward with that group.
Speaking of big parts, there's 100 big parts. The large 100 pepperoni black garlic pizza, this week's special, $39.99 with thanks to Sal's. The Sal's Super Special. Have you had one of these?
I have not had one of the pepperoni. I believe Casey said he counted.
Well, he tells me that he counts it. I still don't believe him.
We're not quite sure on that one.
Well, the pizza would get cold while he's counting, and he doesn't like cold pizzas. It's got to be red hot. And that is a red hot special. Speaking of red hot specials, the fibre started with thanks to Sky Broadband. $50 a month for the first 12 months. skybroadband.co.nz. Check it out. Some of the Jets fans in the house nice and early tonight, and they've got some voice about them right now, Jets fans. They have won their last 5 games. Now, I know you're a man from Palmerston North. You know the team, you know the club, you know the history really, really well, Miles Pearce. They're some of our favourite Jets fans. They're always about. Can you tell me when, in your memory, was the last time the Jets won 5 in a row?
That's a great question. It may have been when Darren Larson and I were coaching, and we had Horvath playing. Nick's been retired for a quick minute. If it wasn't then, it would have to be possibly with Ryan Weisenberg as the head coach.
Well, give me years.
They all merge into one. Quite some time ago.
That's not answering my question.
I'm trying to think. The Jets missed a couple of years. They were out of the league for a couple of years, so it was before that.
Last Wednesday in my life is quite some time ago, mate. Caslow Evans.
This is true.
Caslow Evans Jr.
Great take.
Oh, fantastic work, wasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic take. Able to shake and bake all his way to all the way to the rim, and then all the way to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line.
Yeah, he's got the bonus coming up. He's had a couple of great seasons in this Sky Broadband Rapid League. Just another one of these young players now getting an opportunity to play on the big stage and just getting better and better with every opportunity. Adds another one there. Early points here for the Saints.
I'm not quite sure what year it was, but Callum McRae was a development player and still in high school.
Oh, there you go.
And then he had another year or two of high school, finished high school, went to college for 5 as we see Hipango knock down that from the corner.
Wow.
And now Callum's been professional for 3 or 4 years. So it's gone back a bit.
Well, if they win tonight, that'll be 6 in a row. I'm not even going to bother to ask you the last time they won 6 in a row, because it took you about 7 minutes to answer that one. So
my memory's not what it used to be. I'm old.
Richards, step back. Look nice. Pilcher. And the Saints go again. Oh, look out. Caslow Evans Jr. had a cheeky look, didn't he? Now he gets on this drive again.
And Caslow's always going to throw that fake and make you bite on that and try and buy in. His game, he much prefers to put the ball on the floor to create for himself and teammates. But if he can get you out of that defensive stance, he's getting on the rim.
Does have a knack of getting through traffic as well, doesn't he? Just finds those gaps. Thada Paesa launches back of the ring. He's yet to score. In fact, sorry, no, he's got 2. Munier off the glass.
There's that pace we spoke about. Pilcher doing a great job defensively, grabbing the board and just kicking it out.
9 of the Jets' 11 points coming from outside the arc. Back the other way, the Saints are getting to the rack. Midway through the second quarter here. Tarapaese loves a triple. There you go. And that is a big reason why he's averaging 17 points a game in this competition this season.
It is indeed. And the Jets have really embraced that three-point line, and you can see every single guy on that squad right now out on the floor is got a green light to shoot. As we see Luka Richards, big finish.
Smashes it down. Terrific pass from Dougal Meter. There's a technical foul here after the basket. But Luka Richards, young man, take a bow. Absolutely hammered this down. Now, the technical foul is for taunting. Here's the finish, getting up, and there's the taunting right there.
But
and that's the technical foul.
Is it taunting when they've been mates for so long?
Well, I'm not sure that the Bartercard official, Sampan, knows that they've been mates for so long.
So this is where the emotion's great. I understand the rule, but if we understand the full situation, these guys have been friends for a very long time, and I guarantee you that that's going to get clipped and sent to each other over and over and over again.
We'll see if we can get a replay on that again in a moment, just when we have another break, because I reckon Napier Crowley might have been having a big smile. Crowley, Napier.
They're both smiling.
Having a big chuckle here. Oh, yeah. There you go. What a friendship. In the end, Jets got a point out of that.
Crowley wasn't even in the play.
Yeah.
He wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Luca's just getting after one of his guys to see what's going on. As we see a nice little pin away action.
Oh, that is a tough shot. And Tarapaese and Luka Richards having some fun as well. I was going to say before, Tarapaese, when he scores one, you want to look out because the second one's coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
Luka Richards now. This time he's flexing, but no one's around to take notice. He was searching for Tarapaese, who got one on him back the other end. And this is turning into a really fun contest.
I love the emotion that these guys are playing with. And it's just, it really is. In fact, you can see that big dunk started it all. Technical, slowed it down a little bit, but Tarapaese knocking down the three the next play. Some very entertaining basketball, to say the least.
Well, this is where that 2-hour drive feels like 5 minutes, because so many of these guys know each other, and we're seeing that play out in front of us. There's some big baskets, but there's a lot of laughter and smiles as well.
Yeah, same action there for Tarapaese's last make. Great extra pass, Dougal Meter.
Pilcher from the corner. Richards getting after it. Tried to keep it in. Pilcher does the same. They reset once more. Just over 30 seconds to play in this opening half. Evans Jr. for three. Might have got the hand of Wynyard. Tarapaese bundled over. Gold just snatches it out of his hands. Sends it to Pilcher. Extra walk there. Looked like a step too far. Maybe Caslow Evans Jr. got away with one then.
It didn't happen if the whistle didn't go.
Fair enough. Shot clock just inside the game clock. Clear foul on Yapungo. It's a 1-point ball game.
The Jets didn't have a foul to give there,
so
that'll put him on the line.
Oh, no, that's the foul. I was going to say just before that was the walk. Dougal Meter takes a seat. 7.8 to play. Both teams have their BNZ player timeout to use, so you would think here that the Jets will be smart enough to use theirs either off a make on the second or a miss, mind you, unless the Saints get it back. They do already have 4 offensive rebounds.
Something that the Jets have been doing very well this year is that offensive glass. So the Saints getting a little bit of payback there.
A miss, timeout, there you go. They are smart enough.
You can see into the future.
Hakaya Lambert turned and looked straight away for the Bartercard official. So BNZ player timeout, 6.3, and that means the Jets are going to advance the ball here. 30 seconds, the players get the chance to come together. No coaches, no benches, no subs. and they advance the ball. Also your chance to scan that QR code with thanks to BNZ and come along to a NZNBL game up and down the country, inspiring the next generation of basketballers. The BNZ ticket to the big game. Wonderful program. Thousands of tickets have been snapped up. Here we go. Wynyard, Gold reaching in. Foul to give. Smart work. And now the Jets are going to change up their inbound. Coaching staff yelling out, don't run the same play. Saints by 2, 5.1.
That could be the name of the play.
Could be. Thadapayese, he's going to take the shot here. Launches. Oh, so close to going down. Oh, I just wonder whether Sam Gold has touched the net there. That's what the Jets are claiming. They think that 3 should count. Did Sam Gold touch the net? Barnacan officials are having a chat about this. Score is waved away. So, no basket interference, despite the Jets.
There may have been a brush of the net, but I don't think it had any impact. I think the correct call was made there. Good that the referees got together and had a chat about it.
Well, we do have the benefit of one thing that nobody else in this building has the benefit of. You know that, don't you?
Snacks. Oh, no, that's not it. Replay. It's always good.
We have the benefit of the GJ Gutholmes replay. There is Quinton Rose. I mentioned him before. We'll get our chance to see him for the first time tonight. Incoming import for the Jets. Here's that last 3. Watch Gold. No, didn't touch it.
Good call.
Good call by the Barnacan officials. The right call was made. So half-time here, Saints lead by 2. No Corey Webster tonight for the property brokers Manawatū Jets. He continues to be sidelined with a hip injury.
Which is a big out. Big out for...
It's a huge out.
For a Jets team that has really been on a roll, as you mentioned, the last few weeks. 5-0. Looking to come in. It's been a minute since the Jets have won down here in Wellington. 25
points a game, 7 assists a game, 3.5 triples per game at 42%. Corey Webster. Caslow Evans Jr. leading the scoring at half-time. Thadapayese sneaking up to 8 already. Look at those rebounds. So many offensive boards from the Saints as well. They are dominating the glass in this contest.
And in a short game with the Rapid League, 4 offensive rebounds at halftime, leading the rebounding 10-6. They're really, the Wellington Saints are really getting it done in that area and just creating extra opportunities for themselves.
Game started with a Sam Gold steal. Jets in the house tonight. The Army has come down from Palmerston North, having a big season, 8 wins, 4 losses. They've won their last 5. And when these two teams last met, in fact, that was the Jets' last loss. They went down by 1.
And the Saints really did have a commanding lead in the 4th quarter, and the Jets got hot from the 3-point line and just brought that thing right back. They were kind of lucky to get out of Palmy with that win.
Yeah, they were. Look out for Miles Gibson tonight. He's having a wonderful season. And although they're down Corey Webster, if Quinton Rose can come in and do his thing, I mean, he's played for 5 NBA G League teams. He's been with the Austin Spurs in the G League for the last 2 years. He's a scorer. He can absolutely score. So if he comes in and does his thing, and it's always hard first up, Miles. We know that. Very few come in and load up straight away.
It really depends, and it can depend on the situation. Because if he's coming in, I mean, Dante Russo-Nance, as we see Thadapayese get all the way to the rim, scoop that in for 2.
Nice.
Ties the ball game at 20. But if he's coming into this group, he's got Dante Russo-Nance here and Gibson, who together combined are averaging about 45 a game.
Yep.
And, you know, you throw in Corey, if he was healthy, there's another 25. So while he can score, he's offensive rebound number 5 for the Saints. He's coming into a group with some scorers. Yes, they are down Corey Webster, who is 25 points a game. So,
well, they average 102 a game, the Jets.
Oh, very, very high scoring team. Second
only, I think, to the Rams. They might be above the Rams. It's neck and neck. So
I think you're right. I think they are second, but just by it might be by point something of a game.
Yep.
It is not much. But the Saints defensively are doing a fantastic job with only giving up 85 a game. So this is going to be a Sal's NBL game of a battle of offense versus defense, really.
Yeah, going to be fun. There's the team merch QR code on screen, by the way. Sterling Sports, the official in-store and online partner for the Sal's NBL. A couple of really good strips here. The City Edition jerseys for the Jets and the Saints, they're available as well. Check them out. Thatapay there, spinning back to the basket. That was pretty. Left it short, though. Saints by 2. Evans Jr. Dougal meter.
Well, just the amount of pressure the Saints are putting on the rim. Thatapay's scoop layup before was the first 2 points they've scored in the paint for the whole game. Everything else has been generated from 3.
Fascinating stat, isn't it? Look at that on the attack. Vangimaria, Dougal meter. Oh, Toko Wynyard there. Came in with a helping hand and ended up on the floor. Did I see that right?
You did indeed. Now, that is a man you would not want falling on you.
G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay. That was a classic.
Good teammate.
Came in to help him up and ended up laying beside him. Here's Dougal meter, 2:22 left on the clock in the third. Puts that one down.
You see Hakaya Lambert check back into the game. Product of Manawatū.
Have a look at this. G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay. Here's Toko Wynyard. He comes over. I'll help you up. Oh, no, I won't.
No, I'll land on you instead.
Back underway, Manawatū. Can he get around Richards in the end? Did so well to get to that spot.
Well, Richards is a big body. He's also got a great level of athletic ability. As we talk about athletic ability, as we see Evans get all the way to the cup, unable to finish.
He put it away, didn't he? Now he goes down, back to the big fella, Richards. Corner, 3, Dougal meter, too much on it. Another offensive rebound. Pilcher, and I reckon he's picked up his pivot foot there. He has.
Sort of hoping no one caught that.
I'll tell you who did catch it. About 100 Jets fans sitting not far from the action there. They picked it up. Saints by 3. How good is it to see all of those Jets fans head down the highway for tonight's game? Or games, I should say. Hapungo for 3. Sorry, I'll take that back. It's Lambert.
Yep.
Hakaya Lambert.
And that is something that he's added to his game since leaving high school. He wasn't able to knock that down at a great consistent rate. So great to see him working on that. Definitely not the shooter that his father was. Stacey Lambert, long-time Jet.
And he gets up hard with the block. Richards there to finish it off. Lambert did well to get back to his feet there. I reckon he actually cracked the back of his head on the floorboard. Have a look at this again. G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay. Here's the drive. Watch Lambert. Oh, his head comes down heavy there. Straight back to his feet. Tough unit.
They build him tough in Palmy.
And he looks completely unfazed by that. That is amazing. I heard the thud from here. Well, tough family as well. What a basketball family.
Stacey, long-time Jet. And there he is, grabbing the rebound.
Why not? There's those Jets fans in the house. Saints by 2. Good contest unfolding here in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Late in the third. Hapungo, Manawatū. Hot pass. Crowley Napier. Great defense by Dougal meter. Saints get it back. They will. Foul is being called against the Jets here. That's going to be against Hapungo.
That was a great defensive set by the Wellington Saints. Multiple chest bumps, just taken away every driving lane possible. Dougal meter, and then the hustle at the end. Luca Richards getting on the floor.
There is Tangare Hapungo. He was the late addition for the Jets today. I bet you that spray helps.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Thanks for that.
Yep.
That's good. He was the late addition, Miles, for Corey Webster, who was ruled out about an hour before this Sky Broadband Rapid League game. Good crowd starting to build up for tonight's local rivalry. It is a local derby, we know that, and it's been dominated by the Saints over the years, but gee, there's a surge of enthusiasm and support right now for the Jets. They've won their last 5. They sit 4th on the ladder. They win tonight. They jump up to 3rd. And we haven't seen this sort of enthusiasm probably since, very briefly, the NZNBL showdown in 2020 when they made the grand final.
Yeah, that was a great year for them, and that draft really did open up some avenues for a couple of teams. Otago Nuggets, yep. led by Brent Butterheide that year, winning the championship.
Jordan Nartai won a championship, of course.
Jared Kenny getting that win there.
They were the 1-2 punch for the Nuggets after that draft in 2020.
Yes.
Get to see Jordan Nartai back in the NZNBL tonight, back with the Saints for the 8th time this evening. Of course, he spent the last couple of years with the Hawks. Oh, yes, how did he make that go?
That was probably Jared Kenny calling on that relationship when they won that championship together.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been so much fun to watch, this young man. 12 points in this game, averaging 17 for the season. Has the record individual game score for a Rapid League game anywhere in the world, given it's only played here in New Zealand. I think, what does that sit at, 26? So,
yeah, he beat Matt Bardsley.
Yeah, he just dominates the record books, Tharape Ese, and he's now got 13.
And possibly see a little more of him tonight in NZNBL than we have.
Could do, yeah.
With the big out of Corey Webster.
Oh, man. Well, we've seen it all in this game.
That was a tough
tonight,
finish.
haven't we?
Finish with the left, taking contact.
Hassan Munia here, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Got through Tharape Ese and Wynyard.
That Tharape Ese arm swinging down.
Don't see much emotion from this young man. He's been in the Saints program for a couple of years now. Local kid. Saints have done a really good job developing and promoting a lot of their locals over the last few years under GM and owner Jordan Mills. It's been a big part of his leadership, wanting to bring more locals through. And they have definitely done it successfully, haven't they?
Well, we've got 5 Wellington Saints on the court, all hailing from the Wellington region.
And that'll do us. Pilcher shooting after the buzzer. 1 to play in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Saints lead by 3. That was the margin that separated these two teams earlier this season. And it looks like this one will go down to the wire again tonight. Speaking of wire, don't worry about wire, but go with the fibre.
Yeah.
Fibre startup, $50 a month for the first 12 months. With thanks to Sky Broadband, wonderful partners of this world-first innovation, both the men and the women's competition. Tauihi, by the way, coming up later this year. Keep your eyes peeled for that. There is Walter Talele, Mel Bennett. They're a big part of the
Troy McLean.
Ansco Tokomanawa Queens. Yeah, Troy McLean sitting in the middle there as well as the crowd shuffles past them. But some Queens hierarchy there tonight.
And what a fantastic organisation the Queens have been.
Made 3 straight grand finals, 1 championship, but they're the only team that have been in all 3 grand finals of GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi. Capably led, or very, very capably led on court by Stella Beck.
She's all right. She's not bad at the basketball.
Oh, she can play. Stella can certainly play. There's no doubt about that.
The Ferns could have used a little bit of help from Stella in that last series.
Yeah, against the Opals. We are expecting to see the GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi 2025 schedule in about the next month or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Free agency not too far away either. And
there's going to be some big signings, I'm sure.
Yeah, there will be again. Caslow Evans Jr. Can the Saints land an early blow here? They lead by 3. Pilcher, as tough as they come.
Well, I do love they ran some action there, and it's happened a couple of times. Great defense. Wynyard walling up, even better offense. But the Wellington Saints have run some offense, you know, a few times and got the switch with the point guard and really attacked in the post, which I am a big fan of, getting more post-ups.
Opening basket of the quarter for the Saints. Pallacanestro under pressure there. Saints come up with it. So a nice little start to this last quarter by the home team. Out by 5. And a chance to add. Yep.
Yes, biggest margin of the game.
Evans Jr. leaning in on Pallacanestro. And he'll head to the Chemist Warehouse. Caslow Evans Jr., 10 points in this game, 3 rebounds. He's already 4 of 5 from the coloured stripe. And that was shot number 20 for the Saints from the Chemist Warehouse. That is some serious shopping. They are some serious shoes, by the way.
They look very fast. Fast shoes, aerodynamic. But the pressure that the Saints, misses both, empty from the stripe. The pressure that the Saints at halftime, the Jets had not scored any points in the paint. And the Saints had 12. And it's just a testament of how these two teams are playing.
Oh, Pallacanestro. I've just seen that so many times this season. Saints are 12 of 21 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Jets are 4 of 4. They've only got there 4 times, which talks exactly to what you were just saying. They've done their damage from outside. They are just not getting inside. Whereas the Saints constantly attacking the rack, aren't they?
They are indeed. It's great to see. Saw a little bit of that in the NBA today.
Leaning in, Arthur Pilcher.
Fairly big game today. New York Knicks got up.
Oh, well, don't worry about not giving it away for all of our viewers who may be watching the replay.
Sorry about that. But as a Knicks fan, I want to boast. I want to boast that. But just love that aggressive style of play.
It's a big matchup. It's a big matchup between those two, isn't it?
It's huge.
It's huge. Massive. Yeah, if you reckon Palmerston North is going crazy for basketball right now, go and plant yourself in New York. Pallacanestro sends it outside. Crowley Napier. Wynyard, rare offensive rebound. Manawatū. Gee, that would have been a huge basket for the Jets.
And right now, in the grand scheme of things, a 3-point lead is a big lead.
That's knocked out by Lambert.
Lambert, the quiet achiever.
Wonder what Stacey thinks of what's growing behind that left ear there on young Hikaya. There's a conversation for my next trip to Palmerston North.
You might just wake up one day and it's gone, as we see another great take.
How good has Caslow Evans Jr. been here tonight?
One thing that really impresses me about Caslow Evans Jr. is he's quick, but his change of speed is absolutely amazing. And that's the thing that really helps him get to the rim and throws guys off. His change of speed is absolutely elite. It's great to see it.
And the bonus from the Chemist Warehouse. See the Jets owners sitting up in the stands tonight as well. Nice to have them with us. Manawatū. And they're not going away, the Jets. This has been the tale of their season. They might be sitting 10th on the Rapid League ladder. 4 wins, 8 losses. They have had so many close losses, though. I think they've gone down by 1.3 times.
And that's while the points add to the playoff, the season ladder differential. As we see, Pilcher get one up, but miss everything. But those close games are what you want. You don't want to get blown out because of the points for and against carrying over to Sal's NBL.
Yeah, really important, isn't it?
It's tough losing a couple like that.
Well, they hit 55 a few weeks ago, the Jets, in a Rapid League game. Oh, in and out. Lambert did well. Tracked it down. Crowley Napier for 3. Long. Oh, look out. Lambert with another offensive rebound. They go again.
The Saints have dominated the glass. Great to see the Jets get a couple back themselves.
That's short, Manawatū. So 3 opportunities there for the Jets go begging. And the Saints, with 40 seconds to play, seemingly in control here. BNZ player timeouts alive for both teams. Jets can't foul. Spinning. Caslow Evans Jr. His night tonight. He's got 17. Steps across and fouls. I think they had that one to give.
They did indeed. That's a good foul.
What a game for Evans Jr. tonight. Speaking of young guns and their dads, Caslow Evans Sr. could certainly get up and down a court as well.
It's pretty handy.
Pallacanestro downtown doesn't get the drop. And I reckon that was the last opportunity for the Jets tonight. Saints headed to victory. Time's on their side. Jets can't foul. Screen moving, Luca Richards. Easy pickup for Barter card official Elijah Mareko. And we may see a BNZ player timeout here. 1.9. Got to call it when the ball's in your hands. And that's what he does. Tinashe Manawatū. So the Jets will have a quick chat here. They'll advance. Ticket to the big game with thanks to BNZ. QR code on screen. Scan away. Fill in your details. Let us know how many tickets you want. Groups. Certainly love seeing the groups, the sports groups, community groups, school groups come out and enjoy the entertainment of the Sal's NBL. And you can do that with thanks to BNZ. It's really good.
Absolutely fantastic promotion.
They are right behind basketball, BNZ, here in New Zealand.
Also love the commercial with good old Russ Westbrook.
It is good. It is a good
lot of
commercial.
fun.
It's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
You've seen Natai there with Mazinski.
Really looking forward to seeing Jordan Natai tonight. He's
well, you mentioned someone who'd played for both. He's played for both Jets and Saints.
Jordan Natai?
Yep.
Has he?
I'm sure he was the guy that I was coaching. Crowley can't knock that one down. 6-point win for the Wellington Saints.
And it was enough, wasn't it? They held firm all the way throughout. The Saints tied up a few times. There was barely more than 3 points in it for most of it, but the Saints just finding a way down the stretch, dominating the glass and dominating trips to the Chemist Warehouse tonight. 12 of 21 in the end from the line. The Jets 4 of 4. Here are the Chemist Warehouse stats. Evans Jr., he was the star with 17 points. That point guard battle, a lot of fun. Pallacanestro and Evans Jr. sharing 32 between them.
Pretty tough. Lambert coming up big. Couple of huge rebounds down the stretch has tried to keep it close. Pilcher doing a power of work as always.
Manawatū with 4 assists, leading the way on the court.
Saints boys just decided to share the ball around.
A couple of blocks there. Chemist Warehouse stats as we have a quick look at the steals. And Sam Gold, that's the way the game started. Nearly the first pass of the game. Sam Gold stripped it away. Shea Ely warming up for the Saints. They have a favourite son returning tonight, the Prince of Porirua himself, Jordan Natai. His first time back in Saints colours since 2022 and his 8th season with the Saints. He is well and truly, as I said, a part of the furniture. So the first one down tonight, Sky Broadband Rapid League. The Saints win by 6. There is Jordan Natai, fresh off the plane from Austria. And the fans here in the capital will be very, very pleased to see him in blue. Sal's NBL game tonight, round 9. The Saints up against the Jets, coming your way from TSB Bank Arena, 7:30 p.m. local time. That's about 15 minutes away. So don't go away. Grab yourself a drink, maybe a quick snack, and then get back in front of your TV or device or wherever you choose to watch. A big one coming up tonight. Local rivals. The Jets have won their last 5. Saints have won 4 of their last 5. 2 teams in form. No Corey Webster, but a new import for the Jets. Quinton Rose to play his first one this evening. We'll see you soon. Can't wait.
So if you just playing around, you need to tell your girl, take a 5 home, that's real. Stop teasing me, stop teasing me. I can change your life so easily. I keep begging you to stay, but you're leaving me, leaving me. We got sticks in the club illegally. Got the whole 6 side, they believe in me. We got members east of the DVP. We got members west on 401. We got a lot on the game, but it's more to come. You gotta pop that till the morning come. You want shots for the girl, they don't order some. Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Hey. Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? Is it Keisha? Is it Ashley? Was it Danny? Is it Party? Where's the function? Where the function? Earth rings. We have now taken over your radio.
Please be loud for the one, the only, the killer, step by step, switch when I press it, I hold it stuff. Never through my area, I'ma have to carry as a real speed team, real speed scene. It's like, so that I never ever tell me who wanna tangle with the devil, which got the neighborhood superhero.
Kia ora, e whānau, nā mai, hana mai, hello and welcome to Te Whanganui Atara, the home, of course, of the Mills Albert Wellington Saints. The Cells NBL coming your way tonight. Round 9 action. The Saints up against the Property Brokers Manawatū Jets, nearby rivals. Sometimes some people say big brother, little brother, but this is a team in form. Let me tell you, the Green Army is rising. They've won their last 5 and they're here to do the business tonight. Justin Nelson, Miles Pearce with you in the house, in the capital, on the waterfront, and we're looking forward to this one. Hello to you, Miles, and as you join us, there's the mixandpick.com poll, and at the moment the Saints have 84% of the vote. Good evening.
Now, good evening to you. First of all, I can't believe it's round 9. This has gone so quick. Second, like a huge out we got to get it out there right away. Huge out for the Jets. Corey Webster
not playing,
missing 25 points, 7 assists a game.
Still out with a hip injury,
and that is possibly leading to the numbers we are seeing in the Mix and Pick voting poll.
Some new faces tonight. Quentin Rose is an incoming import for the Jets. He replaces Eric Williams Jr. More on him very, very shortly, and a fascinating story that emerged when I arrived here tonight on this man, Quentin Rose. I'm not going to tell you the story yet.
You mentioned this earlier. Yep. I've been waiting for this. I cannot wait anyway. I want to know.
It has Sal's NBL written all over it. And, of course, Jordan Nartai returns to the Saints tonight. We can't wait to see the Prince of Porirua in action. Here's the Sal's NBL ladder as it stands. There's still a couple of games to come in round 9. Rams had a win this afternoon. Bit of a scare for the Rams, actually. The Tuatara got within 4 points, had their chances down the stretch. Some interesting whistles, it must be said. But the Rams on their home court get up and win by 4. There's the Saints in second. They're having a wonderful season. And as I said, they've won 4 of their last 5. But look at the Jets. Look at that green strip. Sitting in 4th. They win tonight. They jump to 3rd.
And the last time the Jets were in the playoffs might have been Ryan Weisenberg coaching in about 2012.
Been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a minute.
Did make the grand final at the Sal's NBL Showdown, of course, in 2020.
Yes, folks, sorry, I am excluding the Showdown.
Giants with a good win over the Hawks last night as well. Let's have a look at the games coming up. So Bulls and Giants tomorrow. That game also available on Sky Open. Sharks and the Nuggets tomorrow night at Southern Stoush. We love it. What a way to finish the weekend with the Sharks going up against the Nuggets. Sam Timmins comes into that team for the Sharks. Looking good. No Jose Perez for the Nuggets. He's been sent home.
Yeah, huge change there. And Sam Timmins is just going to add a whole bunch of value. I'm really interested to see how Timmins and Alec play together. I think that's going to be an intriguing thing down there, and see how the Sharks coaching staff can figure that out. I
believe there'll be a statement from the league coming up on Monday at some stage, but that Phi Panthers game, you can put a line through that. And the Airs and the Bulls play on Wednesday. So
and that last game, Airs Bulls, both teams, lot to play for both of those guys.
Nice game coming up, no doubt.
Airs with a big change as well, Froling.
Yep. No Harry Froling anymore. He's back in Australia. Here's the Jets starters tonight. Russo Nance, Rose, Miller-Jose, Gibson and Goins. Of course, no Webster, out with a hip injury. New import on the scene, as we mentioned, Quentin Rose. Kenny Goins has had a wonderful season. He is just an absolute pillar of defence. There he is, putting one down. You had the chance to catch up with him a little bit earlier on. Let's go and have a chat now with Kenny Goins.
Kenny, welcome to Wellington. You guys are coming in on a hot streak. How do you keep that going coming into this game?
I mean, just keep doing the things we've been doing. It's obviously working, you know. We got a new guy coming in, so we're going to try and bring him along with us.
Hey, and you're coming up at a pretty good defensive unit in the Wellington Saints. How are you going to try and work that defense to your advantage?
Yeah, I mean, we got some great guards. Dante, new guy, Quentin Rose. And then we got to dump it inside. We got to play inside out, and we just got to keep running. Offensive rebounds, some things like that.
Hey, awesome. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it, man.
He's a man of few words.
He is indeed. Is indeed. Did bump into him at the grocery store last week, maybe the week before, and had a much longer chat than that.
He's been a really good addition, hasn't he, Kenny Goins? Here's the Saints. This is how they'll line up tonight. This is a pretty stock standard starting unit now for the Saints. Liafa, Illy, Marshall, Harris and Mazinski. Of course, Jordan Nartai will come off the bench tonight in his first game back for the Saints. His 8th season with the Saints. He's played the last couple with the Hawke's Bay Hawks, but the fans can't wait to see him in blue. Let's go and check in with him.
Jordan Nartai, Prince of Porirua, welcome home. It's great to be here. Have you been keeping tabs on the leagues while you've been away?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always a place where I think I'll be playing in the off-season while I'm not in Europe or wherever, but I've kept an eye on a lot of games, and there's been some really good ones lately, so yeah.
Hey, you're coming up against a great red-hot Jets team, 5-0 in their last few games. So, like, how are you going to take care of business here tonight at home?
I think for us, it's just more about focusing on us. Like, they're a really star-studded team. They got a lot of great players, but like with me and Sammy coming into the mix now, I think we got to focus on ourselves more than anything, making sure that we're locked in execution with defense and offense. And we got a lot of talent as well. Like, I think for us, it's just playing freely as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Just back from Austria. He has enjoyed some time in Europe the last couple of years, Jordan Nartai. And he is back with the Saints. Lots of fans enjoying that news when it was mentioned through the recent trade window. Sign and trade, of course, brought Jordan Nartai to the Saints. Rightio, let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head for this one. The recent form, very, very good. Look at that. 0 in the loss column for the Jets. They're up to 4th on the table, going at 102 points a game, Miles.
Yeah, I really love this stat here. The points per game is big, because right now the Jets are absolutely on fire and doing a great job. One of the front runners in the league. The flip side of this, though, is they're giving up about 95, 96 points a game. Now they're still winning, which is great. But
I'll give you the tip.
If they 85 a game.
If they give up 95 tonight and they score 102,
they're winning. It's okay. And this is the thing: the Saints are holding teams to 85 a game. The Saints defense, that key clash. Illy is the Damian Martin Defensive Player of the Year in the Australian League. Dante Russo-Nance is going to be under all kinds of pressure from him and Leafa tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a big matchup. And look at that last time they met, a 1-point thriller. Barter card officials, there's Callum Welsh, Sam Pan and Amy Jo Clark joining him. And we're not too far away from a start. I love this, what the Saints do. The young guys who've just played the Rapid League, they just got to win by 6, by the way, in the Rapid League against the Jets. And once the Saints come out, we'll see if we can keep our cameras on this, actually. Once the Saints come out, have a look at what the Rapid League team does. I've seen it a couple of times. I hope they do it tonight or they're going to make a fool of me. But let's just see if they do it, these Saints youngsters. Here we go. They get in just amongst themselves. I don't know what they say. I don't know what that's about. But they just get in their own little huddle and rev each other up. Bit of fun.
Which I absolutely love, because that's the bench crew. These guys are going to be, they've just finished up Rapid. They're just getting ready to be the supporting cast to the stars right here.
22% for the Jets. That is creeping up. Cast your vote. There's the QR code on screen. Fun and free with thanks to mixandpick.com. And we are set to go. A Saturday night special in the capital. There's Quentin Rose wearing the number 7. I'll let you know that story shortly, Miles. You will have a chuckle. Good crowd in attendance as always. Saints in the blue, Jets in the grey, Milajos and Mazinski. And who's that's come off? It has come off Isaac Milajos, so it's going to be a Saints ball, an early win for the home team.
I think we've got to flip the coin on who that came off, but the refs made a call and we'll go with that.
Isaac Milajos, by the way, 22 games with the Saints. So he also won a championship back in 2021.
Yeah, as a young fella. He's been playing his trade overseas, and great to see him back in the NZNBL as we see Zay Leafa a little hot on that pass. Harris can't control it, and the Jets are going to get their first opportunity to look.
And Rose gets his first opportunity. Can't finish it. Gibson. We know the power of that man, Miles Gibson. Milajos down low to Goins. Goins outside. Russo-Nance searching. Nice hand in there from Leafa with the finish, though. Russo-Nance. First points for the Jets.
Just coming off an offensive rebound.
Harris. Has he travelled? He has. Turnover there for the Saints.
I like that official Callum Welch even acted that out for him afterwards.
And that's 2 turnovers to start the game for the Saints.
The Jets are second in the league in offensive rebounds, so if the Saints cannot control that aspect of the game, as we see another little finish inside by Gibson. 4 paint points already early on.
Milajos with the feed. So good start for the Jets. They've got 4. The Saints have turned it over twice and nearly turned it over a third time. Lowest turnovers in the league, this team, the property brokers Manawatū Jets. And they are the best team at scoring off turnovers.
Do you think the ball is in Russo Nance or Webster's hands a lot? That's two very good guys at controlling the ball.
Tipped in, the big moose, Nick Mazinski. And that's what he does. He just plays his role. Saints get their first points. Here's Rose. 5 teams in the NBA G League. That was a good look.
A couple of good looks early for him. Unable to knock one down, but I'm sure one is coming soon.
He can score. Has spent the last 2 seasons with the Austin Spurs. Part of the San Antonio Spurs NBA program, of course. There's a foul there. Now, is this going to be on Miles Gibson? No. It's going to be on Kenny Goins. So mark one down for Kenny Goins. Jets have a chat about it. Got some tall timber, haven't they?
They do, but both teams Goins is very versatile, able to pick and pop, knock down the 3, shoots the 3 very well. And the Saints very much the same. Their only big inside threat, Mazinski and Miller-Jose for each team.
Right, so the Nick Marshall shot.
They're saying that Mazinski did not tip that in.
Right.
And that was just a very friendly bounce.
So they're calling it a 3.
Yes. So Marshall's shot was not touched by Mazinski.
So there you go. That's why the scoreboard has just changed to 3 for the Saints. It'll go up another one now. And that's the reason why. So that early tip-in we thought for Mazinski, he didn't get a finger on it. Just a nice little roll for Nick Marshall, and he's credited with the 3-pointer.
There you go. Marshall, defense, up the floor.
Rose under pressure, Jets.
This is going to be interesting here. We've already had the shot clock is on 18, and I know we don't do a go-by-shot clock situation. Casey was talking about this the other night in commentary. It is up to the officials, but the Jets are going to have limited time to get the ball over halfway.
They've got 2 seconds. Do you go the BNZ player timeout? You wouldn't want to use it this early, but I just wonder whether they have to. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Russo Nance, that was really clever, and he puts it up for Miller-Jose. What an exceptional play for the Jets. Time pressure did not matter. Smart play by Russo Nance. And how about the finish by Miller-Jose? Big moment in the game, nice and early.
That one is tipped in by Mazinski.
That'll count. And they get it back. Marshall and Harris. Harris can't finish it. He thought he was fouled.
There was definitely a lot of contact down there as we see Russo Nance fire away.
That's come off Marshall. Jets to get it. Hiram Harris is furious behind play here. He thought he was fouled at the other end. He's just walked over to Amy Jo Clark, the Bartercard official, and given her an absolute serve.
Well, Hiram is a large man.
Oh, I'm surprised.
It takes a bit to knock him down.
It does. I'm surprised he wasn't warned then, though. There he is. It was a pretty heated conversation. Here's Rose searching for his first points. Terrific defense, Isaiah Liafa. Marshall now around Russo Nance. Foul is on Miller-Jose.
We saw a little bit of this in the Rapid League game. The Wellington Saints right now are just putting so much heat on the rim and the paint that the foul count right now is heavily in favor of the Wellington Saints because of that action.
Nick Marshall, what a season he has had. 20 points, 8 rebounds a game. He's got that turn of speed, change of pace, super athletic.
And has found a new home in the Australian League.
He has, yeah.
Free agency continues there.
I'm very surprised the 36ers didn't hang on to him. He adds a couple there from the Chemist Warehouse.
the Sixers' great pickup in Kiwi Flynn Cameron.
Yeah. He signed a 3-year contract, of course. Gibson, Saints by 2. Pulls up, deep 2. How about the hand from Liafa?
Well, this backcourt of Ili and Liafa is just deadly defensively.
Here is Ili outside Liafa. Straight into the hands of Nick Marshall. Big play from the Saints. Way to move the ball.
Absolutely. Beautiful ball movement.
And they lead by 5. Rose, there's that defense. Liafa again. Quinton Rose is learning pretty quickly where and when to pass, who to keep it away from. Marshall, bang, bang.
And a quick fire start for the Saints. Some heat on the rim, playing inside out, able to knock down consecutive threes. Marshall, a little surprised that the Jets haven't had a timeout.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. Back-to-back threes for Marshall and the Saints. I immediately expected a timeout called by the Jets. Nothing. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And there's that hand of Marshall, another block, of Mazinski, another block for him. One of the best shot blockers in the competition.
Yeah, tied up there with Jack Andrew, I believe.
What a season Jack Andrew's having, by the way. Most improved player in the competition for me.
Oh, he's found, as we see, Russo Nance settle the ship. Steady the ship there and knock down that paint too.
Marshall has already hit 2 from outside. That came off his leg, picked up by Goins. Now Miller-Jose loves to attack. And a hand in there from Shea Ili. Isaac Miller-Jose, the former Saint, who's come into this starting unit for the Jets and has been really productive.
Well, we know the Jets have made a change with their import.
Here's the applause, Jordan Nartai. A Saint once again. That's what you can hear the applause for. The favourite son, the Prince of Porirua, is back in blue.
And it is very, very good to see him back here. But as I was saying, the Jets have made a change to an import. But prior to that, they did make a change to that starting 5. And Miller-Jose came into the starting 5. He had been coming off the bench. And they bought Williams, their import, off the bench. And it just balanced out what was going on. Williams was able to come off the bench with that second unit, become a scoring punch. They did a very good job with that.
They have not lost since this guy has started. The Jets have not lost a game since Isaac Miller-Jose went into the starting lineup.
There you go. But it just created a great balance because he can do a little bit of everything. And he doesn't need the ball. He's not a guy that you have to throw the ball to. He's just going to work and run the floor and do all the little things.
Well, his one weak spot is actually the Chemist Warehouse stripe, and he's just hit a couple from there. So here's Nartai. Backing down Russo Nance. Marshall. And that's come off the hand of Harris. I think from memory, Jordan Nartai for the Hawks, what was his top score there? Was it 47 he had one game?
Yeah, it was very close to 50.
He has that ability to get that mismatch and post up. Great outside shooter, as we know, but
he does a very good job. The what we like to call the Barkley, good old Sir Charles Barkley. Turn that drive, flip it, and turn it into a back down post up. Nartai does that very, very well.
Tyson Thada-Paese in for some early burn here for the Property Brokers Jets. Of course, no Corey Webster tonight. Russo Nance. He has started well. We're going to see a lot of him tonight. Sam Gold back for the Saints. He's out there. Liafa goes deep. Harris gets the clutches on it straight out to the sharpshooter. Rangimarie Dougal Meter.
He's tripled his output from the Rapid League game in just that one shot. But he is a man that you cannot leave open and works his tail off on the defensive end.
Here he is defensively on Thada-Paese. Collins up strong on Nartai, who's called for the foul. So Saints by 7 midway through the first. Earlier today, Rams defeated the Tuatara in a nail-biter. They got home by 4.
Dug themselves a little bit of a hole, the Tuatara, in that first. Down by 7 in the first quarter. And Charles Pride, 31 points.
Yeah, really good
leading
game.
all scorers.
Yep.
Unfortunately for the Tuatara, only shot 24% from the three-point line.
If you missed the news from the Tauranga Phi during the week, lots of Jets fans in the house tonight. The Phi announced during the week incoming players, Anzac Rossetto, big Kiwi of course, and Mojave King.
2 guys with NBL experience. It's adding some talent to your roster.
One guy drafted by the LA Lakers as well.
Didn't know Anzac was drafted by the Lakers. That was very, very impressive.
Might have got the wrong guy.
No, Mojave King, as we see, Leafa knocking down the triple. But Mojave King, very, very talented young man, coming off a great season with the New Zealand Breakers.
Saints 5 of 7 from deep. 5 of 7. Warning signs right now for the Jets. Russo Nance surrounded. Pass, tough. Fada Paese, shot clock at 5. What can the Rapid League star do? Tries to get all the way to the rack on the reverse. Collins knocks it in.
We were talking about Miller Jose being a guy that doesn't need the ball. Collins is kind of the same, comes off the bench, you know, works hard, stays on the glass, as we see. Oh.
I thought that came off Isaiah Leafa then.
Yeah, but the Saints hold on to it. They've had a couple of little turnovers to start the game.
Jets aren't really arguing the decision, though.
You know that's always a good sign, isn't it?
Dougal Meter. Gold. Corner. Illy almost stumbled as he took off then. Step back. Tapped out. Ends up in the hands of Thada Pierce. I reckon the Jets will be happy to be within 6 here at the moment.
Well, the way they've started the game, anything under double figures would be an absolute blessing, as we see Gibson on the face-up.
Deep 2. For me, he has the sweetest mid-range shot in the Sal's NBL, Miles Gibson. Goins nearly takes it at mid-court. Illy on the drive. Collins has reached in with the foul. And as we do that, Quentin Rose is about to come back on the floor for the Jets. And it gives me a good chance to tell you this story, Miles Pearce, and all of our viewers as well. There he is, Quentin Rose. First game tonight in the Sal's NBL. However, the Jets are not the first team that he has signed for in the Sal's NBL. In fact, the team that once signed that man, Quentin Rose, is the team that he's playing against tonight.
There you go.
2022, the Saints signed Quentin Rose. They had him signed for 2 or 3 months, and on the day that he was booked to fly from JFK to Wellington, he did not get on the plane.
Just didn't get on the plane?
Done.
Wow.
Didn't come out for the Saints. Now, how ironic is it that the first game he plays
is against the Saints?
Is against the Saints. The team that signed him, paid for airfares, had him for season 2022, and he didn't get on the plane. And here he is playing against them. Remarkable. That story, by the way, 100% fact. Mazinski off the glass.
You are the source of all knowledge.
That's just that someone told me.
Yeah, I believe it.
Kenny Goins down behind play there. He's back to his feet, which is a good sign. I mean, there's a lot of great tales and yarns and stories to Sal's NBL over the, 43
over the
years.
many years.
But that's a nice little yarn, isn't it?
That is a very good one. I do love catching up with my guy BV, Byron Vaitoe, and hearing some stories from back in yesteryear. He's always a very fun man to catch up with. And
he'll be watching on tonight, by the way.
Oh, BV doesn't miss a game.
Does not miss a game.
He has a great basketball mind.
Part of our Sky Sport team, Byron Vaitoe. 5 games, does the sideline reporting, of course. All the interviews. Hope you're well, BV. Here he is, Quentin Rose, the man we're talking about. Once a potential Saint, a signed Saint, now a Jet.
And For people watching at home, you mentioned that he's been playing in the G League. Those seasons, our season and the G League season, pretty much like dovetail into each other. So there is a number of guys, American guys, that come here as we see some beautiful ball movement. Illy turning it over though.
Well, the pass from Ngatai was pretty special. Thana Paese, back of the iron. Miller Jose, offensive rebound for him. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the competition, Miller Jose. Tion Collins does not often do that.
No, he does not. Might be a reason.
That is a rare shot from distance for Collins. Ngatai inside, turns it over straight into the clutches of Gibson.
You can see both teams have had a couple of throwaways.
Gibson's getting busy.
And doing a very good job of it too. But both teams have had a couple of throwaways, just trying to integrate a new team member with very little practice time. Always tough.
Keep an eye on Miles Gibson. He scores rapidly once he gets going. Margin at 5. Just over a minute to play in this opening quarter. Illy found a way through. Mazinski, that's not usually his shot either, but he made that work.
I do love how the big man's got the ability to step out to that little short corner and knock that down. Huge asset if teams are going to keep plugging the paint.
Quentin Rose is learning a lot of lessons early here. Illy, gold, another basket for the Saints, back to back. And that lead is out to 9. Not what the Jets wanted. Thana Paese, little runner, knocked on the arm. And in fact, it was a block in the end was the call.
Yeah, Mazinski, Wellington Saints are in a drop defense on that on ball there. Mazinski's dropping back to try and contain the ball. It looked like Thana Paese jumped in to him from the angle that we had. But our Barter card officials have made that call.
I've got to say, Miles, I'm just watching Aaron Young and the subs, the rotations he's making for the Saints. I know they've only added one new piece in Jordan Ngatai, but gee, this deep team just got deeper. The rotations, the stars in this team, quite remarkable. And they've still got an import spot available.
If they decided to take it. My question to you, game's on the line. Who's taking the last shot right now? It's a loaded lineup with some guys who can really play.
I'm going Nick Marshall.
Okay.
Quentin Rose is going to get called for the offensive foul. And look who the man is who took that charge. None other than Isaiah Liafa. And Rose has come down heavy here. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Here he is, the new import. Look at Liafa.
He landed on his hip. And he was up quite high. It's a long way to fall for athletic people.
Well, of course, he came into the starting lineup tonight to replace another player with a hip injury in Corey Webster. Not even in the building tonight. I think he's up in Auckland at home. And Quentin Rose is going to take a seat here. So this is not what Jets fans wanted to see. 2 seconds. 1. Illy. Did he get it off in time? Doesn't matter. Waved away. So 1 down tonight in the Sal's NBL. Saints and the Jets doing battle. And it's the Saints by 8.
Yeah, hot start. Saints shooting the 3 very well, playing inside out. Very well-deserved lead right now.
Second quarter not too far away from the Capitals. Stick with us. Saturday Night Hoops in the Sal's NBL. No mai hoki mai. Welcome back to TSB Bank Arena tonight. The Sal's in town. Well, that is the pepperoni. It's not the large 100 pepperoni black garlic pizza, $39.99. That is this week's special with thanks to Sal's. Get around that one. Second quarter about to start. Saints lead by 8. Nick Marshall, the star, with 11 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, and the tail of the tape, 5 of 7. Wellington Saints from the three-point line. Flip side, Manawatū Jets, none of 7. Uncharacteristic, though. Saints have turned it over 5 times in the first quarter.
Miller-Jose hammers that down with the right hand. Just the start the Jets wanted. Good news for the Jets.
Great news for the, great way to start. Great news for the Jets, and a former high jump champion.
Yeah.
Miller-Jose.
National high jump champion.
Yes.
No less. Out of Wellington College. And that was a really good example of why, as Ngātai responds at the other end. Here's Goins over Illy. Can't get it to go. Illy just stood his ground, didn't he?
And Goins spoke about that pre-game, about trying to play through the advantage in the post and using his size.
Good to see Quentin Rose back out there for the Jets as well. Harris on Miller-Jose. And that'll be the second foul on Isaac Miller-Jose. Hiram Harris is a handful, isn't he?
And he is just all kinds of tough.
Here's Isaac Miller-Jose just slapping this one down. Easy as you like for the high jump champ.
Great finish, but what about that pass from Russo Nance?
What do you think the messages would have been from the two coaches at quarter time, Miles?
Well, for Aaron Young, it's let's keep going. You know, they've done a great job defensively, held a very high-scoring team to under 20 for the quarter. So potentially talking about, you know, that defensive pressure and maintaining the course. For the Jets, it could be just, can we make a three?
And at the moment, that answer is no. Miles Gibson, he puts away a couple of threes per game. Miller-Jose on Illy. Oh, he swung the elbow late. Now, the whistle went before that, though. Harris has come over and taken exception to it, so there's always some heat and spice between the Saints and the Jets. The whistle went before the arm was swung over, so I reckon the foul's going to be on Shea Illy here.
Now, the officials can call a foul after the fact. But you're right, the Jets were going to a mismatch, a size mismatch between Miller-Jose and Illy. And the whistle went, and then there was a little extra after the fact.
Whistle's gone there, and then the arm came over the top, and that's what Shea Illy was unhappy about. And Hiram Harris flew the flag straight away for the Saints. We'll see if we get an angle of it here. There's the arm come over, knock on the chin. Look at Hiram Harris come straight in.
Straight in, and Miller-Jose did extend on that second bump.
Yep.
And it's great, because I love the fact that there are some big guys in this league that think that they can back down Liafa and Illy.
There's no...
It's not really a thing.
No.
It's like Paul Hanade. Guys, when Paulie was playing in the NBL, there would be people that would switch it. They think they'd have a mismatch. It's just not happening.
Here's the call, by the way. The Barnacan officials have been conversing, and it's going to be a double foul.
Yeah.
So... And it's a technical foul on Hiram Harris. So that's for the remonstration afterwards. So it's a double foul. That's the situation. Foul on Shea Illy, and they've also picked up Miller-Jose. To your point, Miles, they can call that.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done.
Because we had one whistle, and we've just had 3 calls.
Yep. So it's a double foul. Shea Illy and Miller-Jose. And the tech foul is called on Hiram Harris. Timeout's been called by the Saints, so that's going to give us a chance to unpack this. We've got the GJ Gardner-Holmes replays to show you. So you've got the double foul. The whistle was on the Illy foul. Miller-Jose has then collected him on the snout. That foul's been added, the double foul. Here it is.
We can see here, on the second back down,
that's the foul there.
There's an extended arm, and then there's an elbow.
So double foul. Now, Hiram Harris has been called for a technical after that. And
stepping in to stand up for his teammate.
Step straight in.
Yeah. He took offence to the fact that his guard just got an elbow to the face.
Yep.
And now, as a coach and as a fan of basketball and something, I love that from Hiram Harris.
Well,
Absolutely love it.
Here's another angle. So that's the first foul. That's the second foul. There's Hiram Harris come in.
Yeah.
In fact, the shot off the baseline, you get a really good look at Hiram Harris, who just ran straight in. And that's what the technical foul was called for. So out of all of that, you're right. One whistle, 3 fouls.
3 fouls, yeah. And right now, those three calls, despite the technical on Hiram Harris from the Wellington Saints, that really plays into the Wellington Saints' favour, because that's Miller Joseph's third.
Yep.
That's his third foul, and he has been such a big part in his 5-game win streak for them.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to here. This is the technical foul, by the way, because we had a timeout. So Miles Gibson to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for 1. Now, it was a double foul, and it's going to be a Jets baseline ball.
The Jets had the ball in that situation. So when the foul occurred, Miller Jose had possession of the ball.
What's going to be fascinating here, 14 seconds on the shot clock. What's going to be fascinating here is which team responds out of the timeout, because there's some heat in this one now. Let's see what the Jets do. Russo Nance back out. Kenny Goins can hit threes. That one off to the right. Look at Big Mazinski get up. Marshall had 11 in the first quarter. Rose tracking him. Look out for Marshall. He's very sneaky.
Just sort of lost the handle on that shot.
But was good enough to get it back. Drew contact. And he'll head to the stripe. Saints are 5 of 7 from the Chemist Warehouse. Jets are 5 of 6. Don't forget, every made shot from the Chemist Warehouse stripe this season. Chemist Warehouse donating money to Basketball New Zealand's Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools program. So all of these shots count if they go in. And Nick Marshall needs to lift his game. Needs to lift his game, Miles.
If that's a big if. No, Marshall is a very good free throw. I've got faith he's knocking this one down.
Well, he's 74%, so yeah. Come on, Nick. Add some money for the schools in Parks.
I do love that. That foul was called on Gibson, but into the game, Kyle Lambert raised his hands instantly, tried to take that foul away from their leading scorer on the floor.
You could dead set have a 100% shooter from the Chemist Warehouse stripe, and if commentators open their mouth, that next shot's going to miss.
Hey, don't bring man to this.
Quentin Rose, by the way, that's his first points in the Cells NBL.
Don't bring man, like it was the commentator. that was singular. I had nothing to do with that one.
It's good to be working with you again, Miles Pearce. Oh, it's great to be seeing Isaiah Liafa again.
Knowing the time that he puts in and the work that he does, he is absolutely phenomenal. As we see Dante Russo-Nance, grown man move from the young man.
And he is a young man still. We forget just how young Dante Russo-Nance is.
Still a baby.
Yeah.
Still a baby.
There's the replay. Reaching in there, Marshall. And the bonus coming up.
Well, I was lucky enough to have Dante as part of my junior 12-light group. Unfortunately, we sort of got derailed by that, pandemic
COVID, of course, yeah.
But he was part of that squad, as well as Tortuko Wynyard.
Jets are just hanging around. Liafa, Rose.
And this is where things can get a little unstuck for teams. We had the incident earlier with the one whistle, 3 fouls. And right now, every whistle, the Jets are reacting, where the Saints are keeping a cooler head.
Quentin Rose, by the way, those who may be wanting a little bit more information on him, there he is, the number 7, first game tonight. As we said, that very funny story. You've got to have a laugh about it now.
Yeah.
Was a Saints player originally in 2022 and didn't get on the plane. Never came out here. And he's fallen over the sideline there, unfortunately. But Quentin Rose, 129 games with Temple.
Not a bad program.
Averaged 14 points a game over that career. And then has played for 5 different teams in the NBA G League. Last 2 years with the Austin Spurs. For all of our Jets fans and viewers wondering who the new face is. Uh-oh, Liafa, that was a heat check. Well off to the left. Who's this come off? Saints are going to keep it. You and I have seen many games in these seats at this venue, Miles, where the Saints get a margin like this, and within the blink of an eye, it's 25.
Yeah, it's one of those things with the ability for them to shoot the ball.
Marshall gave up the shot. Gold on the attack. Nice hand in there by Lambert, who's on the floor. Russo Nance on Nartai. Little hezzy, little step back, little shake and bake.
And the Jets very small at the moment.
Dion Collins is about to come in. Illy steps in for Liafa. Russo Nance has 7 points in the game. Miles Gibson has 7. Jets shooting at 40%. Saints going at 66% on the Chemist Warehouse stat sheet. Just got a clean up on the floor at the moment. That's what the break's for. Lots of Jets fans in the house. They brought down a couple of bus loads. They are a passionate group, aren't they? The Green Army. They've won their last 5 games and sit 4th on the ladder.
And it's great to see the Jets' resurgence really this season. They've recruited well. They've got a lot more talent on the floor, and they're putting work this year. 8 wins is more than they've had in the last 3 or 4.
Genuine contenders, Miles?
If Corey's hip is healthy, yeah, I think they can be. Particularly when they shoot the ball well.
Russo Nance, well, they are averaging 102 a game, held to just 27 at the moment. Illy on the attack. Look at Mazinski.
His size and wingspan and work rate just paying off right there.
I was speaking to Jordan Mills, the Saints owner and GM, before the game, talking about Nick Mazinski and just how he does a job. No fuss, no fanfare. He's had a good season. Mazinski's averaging 14.5 points and 8 rebounds a game. You're going to take that every day of the week. He's one of the leading shot blockers. He doesn't steal the limelight. He's got stars around him. He just plays his role, does his job.
And I think you hit the nail on the head right there as we see Russo Nance with the step back. Short on that one. Collins.
Oh, Collins did so well to keep that in, and Russo Nance took advantage.
Collins, and this is Mazinski and Collins, very similar in terms of the work rate that they put out and the spotlight that they don't need to grab.
Illy turns it over. Russo Nance was a bit of a prayer in the end, his first pass for Rose. And then Russo Nance got it back and was fouled. Dion Collins, there's that finish. The pass from Russo Nance to Rose wasn't the greatest. I reckon Quinton Rose is, well, I don't know if he's enjoying his first game so far in the Cells NBL. He's been up and down and banged around.
This is a really tough ask. Guys from the G League, for their first trip overseas to play,
yeah,
the rules in the NBA and the G League are different. The defensive 3 seconds creates a whole lot more space, and New Zealand is one of the toughest, most physical leagues in the world.
Look, we've got viewers across ESPN in the United States, around the world on FIBA YouTube, viewers through China, new broadcast deal done there. I mean, we know this in New Zealand. Our Sky Sport viewers, they know exactly what you're talking about, Miles. But for all of our international viewers, this is a tough physical league, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And for a guy to get off the plane who's been used to a certain style of play with certain rules.
I think he's been in town for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. To come into the Wellington Saints, one of the toughest defensive teams, one of the most physical groups we got in our league. That's really eye-opening, and he's going to learn and learn quick.
Gibson to Rose for 3. Oh, he's copped a knock down the arm. That's against Nick Marshall. So Quinton Rose, who is listed at 203 centimetres, That's what he's listed at.
Okay. Pacific strength.
I'm not saying he is 203.
Okay.
He's probably nudging the 200 though.
Yeah.
You see him out there amongst Kenny Goins and Dion Collins. He does have some height for a 2-3 guard. Short on the first one from the Chemist Warehouse.
Interesting the Jets went with that option. I thought they would try and get a guy to help bolster that Miller-Jose sort of front, Kenny Goins front court. But coming in and showing his wares, shoots the ball well.
3 points in the game at the moment, 1 rebound and a steal. Finding his feet. Second one is good, 2 of 3 from the stripe. Jets next 3 games, Bulls at home, Sharks at home, Giants away. Saints next 3, Phi away, Tuatara away, Nuggets at home. Dougal meter.
Out in a little 3-2 zone.
Harris to Gold, step back 3. Doesn't land it, off the hand of Rose, ends up with Illy. Illy wide open, just created the gap, didn't he?
First field goal of the game for Illy. Takes his tally to 3, but his fingerprints have been all over this game. A handful of assists, some deflections, steals. Does a little bit of everything.
Mata Bonanzo is out there at the moment. Russo Nance taking a break. Tough pass for Collins, picked off by Nartai. They're on the move here, the Saints. Illy's got Harris running with him. Harris to the corner. Dougal meter.
It's amazing how you can lose a guy that is that good at shooting the ball in transition. Every team needs to be aware of guys like that.
Couple of big threes already in the game for Rangi Marier, Dougal meter. That's what he does. Rose to answer. Bang on target, left it short. They're on the move here now. Oh, Gibson read that Illy pass. Margin at 13. Gibson's got to get going. Made the tough look easy.
It made the very tough one right there. And you just think that the defensive lineup that the Saints can put on the floor right now is just so impressive.
Gibson has 9. Gold can hit 3s. That one a little bit too long. Gibson with the rebound. Knocked from behind, Harris. Gibson just had no awareness there that Hiram Harris was behind him.
Right behind him.
Turnover for the Jets. Illy slips it through. Harris, good hands. Goins. Mata Bonanzo up. Sends it out to Rose, to the corner. Gibson. Basket here would be handy for the Jets. That copped the hand of Nartai. Collins is fouled underneath. Miles Gibson pleading with his coaches to give him a breather. He subs out for Russo Nance. Here's that foul. Harris over the top. That's what the whistle was for. Hiram Harris gives the thumbs up and says, yep, I'll take that one. He's always up for the conversation. The ultimate competitor, Hiram Harris.
Oh, watching him in high school, being able to watch Hiram Harris this long, he was like that. He's always been a competitor. From then till now, I think he always will be.
Well, this is my 7th season in and around the Sal's NBL, and I mean, as you know, Miles, and most people out there know, I'm heading back across the ditch in the near future, and Hiram Harris is one player, I've got to say, in those 7 seasons, I mean, there's been some stars that I've really enjoyed watching. Hiram Harris is right up around the top of that list.
He's an entertaining guy to watch, and when he is on the floor with other guys like the caliber that the Saints have, it's an absolutely fantastic spectacle.
Just an incredible competitor, isn't he? If you're after your team merch, Sterling Sports is the home for you. Head in store or visit the official online store for the Sal's NBL, and some City Edition jerseys out of the Sky Broadband Rapid League also available with thanks to Sterling Sports. There's Hiram taking a breather. I don't know that he gets to draw breath too often, because he won't shut up while he's on the sidelines. He will keep supporting his teammates. That never ends. Liafa drains the first and puts the second away. Margin at 11, 3 to play in the first half.
And the Saints have been out to this sort of 9, 10, 11 margin for a little while. Haven't been able to crack that and push forward. But on the flip side, the Jets haven't been able to eat into it and cut it back.
Russo Nance under pressure from Illy and Liafa. Got it through the gap to Goins. Well, the basket was great. The build-up to it was even better.
And Dante Russo Nance has had a few of those tonight. Just great finds, setting up teammates.
4 assists for him to go with his 9 points and 4 rebounds. Liafa on Matabananzo, step back. That is Isaiah Liafa. When he's in that sort of touch, all I can say is look out. 13 in the game now for Liafa. Matabananzo up over the top of Mazinski. Would have to be the shortest player on the floor, shooting over the top of the tallest player on the floor.
Yeah. A good touch on that floater. Jumpers trying to get it there.
Foul is going to be on Dante Russo Nance, who is having a chat with the Saints bench. Most notably Hiram Harris.
Russo Nance's first foul. No foul trouble there.
I think Dante Russo Nance thought the whistle was just for him knocking the ball out of court. He's just realised that the foul's been called on him.
Yeah, just Russo Nance and Goins in a lovely discussion.
That's his first, by the way. Miller Jose has 3 for the Jets. Nick Marshall has 3 for the Saints.
Yeah.
He dominated the first quarter here tonight. Nick Marshall had 11 points. He's still on the 11. Saints bring up the 50.
And you hear so many teams and groups talk about the next man up mentality. And the Saints really have that tonight with Marshall leading the way in the first and Liafa, the next man up here in the second, taking his tally to 13. Playing very, very well this quarter.
This is dangerous right now for the Jets. They cannot afford this lead to go out further than what it is. Oh, turnover. Goins dribbled it off his leg. Liafa, turn of speed. He's running hot.
Turning defense to offense, taking his tally to 15, leading all scorers.
And the margin at 16. This is what the Saints do. Uncharacteristically went down to the Hawks here last time out. But they are on a mission tonight, the team in blue.
That Hawks game was kind of exciting. It was not a bad game, Saints versus Hawks.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, before the international break. We saw some very good basketball between Tall Blacks and Boomers, Tall Ferns and Opals.
Yeah, of course, Tall Blacks getting a win over the Boomers. Dante Russo Nance just working overtime here tonight for the Jets. Patapaese onto the floor. There is Dante. His mum and dad will be watching in from Auckland tonight. Hope you're well.
Sean running up and down the sideline, kicking Dante's butt, no doubt, over the years.
He's just another huge fan of the NZNBL. He's Dante's father, Sean, and always a delight to catch up with him and have a chat. One of the nice guys out there. Plenty of nice guys. No, I shouldn't say one of. There's plenty of nice people around the basketball fraternity. But always good to have a chat to Sean. Liafa.
When Isaiah Liafa shoots the ball tonight, I'm surprised when he misses. He's shooting the ball that well.
Gibson had a bit of a hot streak earlier. Russo Nance from the corner. Mazinski. Illy had a look around. Always knows the game situation. Liafa sends it out to Ngatai. Can hit threes. Jordan Ngatai.
He's welcome back, young man. Great to have him back in New Zealand and back in Saints colours.
The Prince
Hometown hero.
Prince of Porirua, yeah.
There you go.
Let's see what the Jets come up with late. 14, shot clock at 2. That's come off the foot of Goins. Now, I wonder if the call was because he was trying to gain possession, whether he's actually kicked it intentionally to regain possession, because the Jets had possession. So, Jets coaching staff a little bit perplexed. We'd need to see the replay of that, but I just wonder whether he lost possession and then kicked the ball to himself.
If he did try a little, chip back to himself, there you go, yeah. Sort of tapped it up with his foot.
That was the call. Oh, Shea Illy with the basket and draws the contact. And remember a short time ago I was talking to you about how the Saints go from 10 to 20?
Yep.
Just like that.
And it was just a very quick. We were saying, that the Saints hadn't been able to push out the lead, and in a very short space of time they have blown this thing to a 19-point lead.
There's a friendly McRae face. It is a 20, and I reckon there'll be a BNZ player timeout here with 1.9, and the Jets will advance. And there it is. So BNZ player timeout, Jets to advance with 1.9, and they should get the last shot of the half. QR code on screen with thanks to BNZ. Ticket to the big game, ladies and gentlemen. Scan that QR code, fill in your details. How many tickets would you like? Maybe a group of friends, school group.
You've got enough friends to round up a group, a posse. Would you say a posse or a group?
Maybe 3 of us, 4 of us.
No, right, there we go.
Got a couple of mates out there. I'm not that well liked, Miles. BNZ ticket to the big game. All right, let's see what the Jets do out of this. 1.9. Tanape Ese to bring it in. Goins doubles down on the screen for Miles Gibson. He's going to get the last shot, and that is nowhere near the mark. So half-time here, Saints lead by 20. Really opened it up in that second quarter. 27-19 first quarter for the Saints, 32-20 in that second quarter, and it's a 20-point half-time lead. Isaiah Liafa starred in that second quarter. He's got 15 points. And here he is courtside with Miles Pearce in just a second. Always fun to watch Isaiah Liafa. As I said, 15 in the game, lighting it up. And I think we've got him with Miles Pearce. Just checking in at the moment. He's just waiting for our microphone. So that's the wait on this. Liafa champing at the bit to get to the rooms. In fact, we've run out of time. So Liafa has to dash off very, very quickly. But he has been a big part of this Saints lead. They're out by 20 at the half. Chemist Warehouse stats coming up very, very soon. Stick with us. To have you with us here in New Zealand on Sky Sport, throughout the United States on ESPN, right around the world on FIBA YouTube, and through our broadcast partners in China as well. Justin Nelson and Miles Pearce with you, and within the blink of an eye, the Mills Albert Wellington Saints lead the property brokers Manawatū Jets 59-39. Miles, as we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats.
Yeah, unbelievable break at the end of the second quarter as we see Liapa leading the way with 15. Marshall got all those 11 in the first quarter. So sat out with some foul trouble, but you can see the scoring spread there for the Wellington Saints on their way to 59 first half points.
Russo Nance has 11 for the Jets. No Corey Webster tonight, out with a hip injury. Shea Illy and Nick Mazinski, there's the short and tall of it. 5 rebounds apiece. Kenny Goins, just 2 rebounds. He's one player that no doubt the Jets coaching staff will want to see lift in the second half.
Is it too early to call a triple-double watch on Illy? 8, 5, and 5 at halftime?
Never, absolutely never too early to call a triple-double watch. No.
8, 5, and 5 at the half. Shea Illy, fingerprints all over this game.
Official stats partner of the Sal's NBL, the Chemist Warehouse. Jets have got some work to do. Some of the other key stats: Saints shooting at 59% tonight, the Jets at 35%.
Well, the big one for me.
Yep, I was about to go there.
No, you go. Okay.
No, I'm not stealing your thunder.
There we go.
Because...
So the big one for me is the three-point line.
Yep.
None of 11 for the Manawatū Jets, who have been shooting the ball very well in the last handful of games, 5-0.
Tell me what the Saints are doing from
9
beyond the
and 15, 60%.
That is the key difference in the game, isn't it? So Saints out by 20, second half. Not too far away tonight in the Sal's NBL. Hope you're enjoying it. Welcome back to the capital tonight, to Whanganui Atara. Windy Wellington. It was certainly windy earlier on today when I flew in from Dunedin. Got to say, I got muffed around quite a bit, but thank you to the Air New Zealand crew who look after us as always up and down the country throughout our travels in the salons at NBL. Tony Webster, some work to do here. Jets are down by 20. Justin Nelson and Miles Pearce with you. What's the team in green got to do?
They got to knock down a triple. That's one of the things. And if you're not shooting the ball well,
and you've got Corey Webster, who averages 3.6 triples per game out.
All of that. But they've done a good job. They're not shooting the ball well, but they have done a great job in the glass. 11 offensive rebounds at halftime. That is something that the Saints should be concerned about. But right now for the Manawatū Jets, the ability to generate some good looks. And unfortunately, they're not shooting the ball well from three, so they've got to figure out how to get to the rim, get to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line, and start trying to see the ball go through the hoop that way.
Here's one positive for Jets fans. When these two teams met earlier this year at Fly Palm Arena, I reckon the Saints led that game by about 20.
Yep.
And it ended up being a one-point thriller.
Huge, huge fourth quarter comeback.
So now what is fascinating here, this is just a crazy part of basketball. So the two teams are on the floor ready to go, the fans are ready to go, we're ready to go, and there's 44 seconds still counting down the clock.
Got to try and make this go a little faster.
Yeah, let's get going. It's
I'm not saying it's Callum Welch's fault, but we'll blame Callum. He's just there giving us the shrug.
Everyone is literally waiting for the halftime clock to count down so we can get going. So that's the hold up at the moment. There's a happy Saints fan. There's the clock as we speak.
Maybe the halftime, just the quick messages from coaches.
Well, fans are getting back into their seats. They've gone out and they've got something to eat and drink and sharing the salons around and all that sort of stuff. So winners so far in week 9 of the Salons NBL. Airs over the Phi by 13. Giants last night took down the Hawks by 16. What a win that was.
And just on that, Mike Fitchett finally has a great group together.
He does.
A little bit of a rocky start coming in, an injury issue to one import, and you know, a young guy coming out of college didn't quite hit his straps. But I think he's done a very good job with the recruitment right now, and they look like a unit that you thought they would be at the start of the, in preseason.
Rams took down the Tuatara earlier today by 4. That foul, by the way, was off the ball. Nick Mazinski holding on to Isaac Miller-Joe. So that's what that whistle was for. Off the ball. Maybe an early win for the Jets. And a good hand, Mazinski. He knocked that away from Quentin Rose. So Mazinski a foul at one end and then responds with another block at the other. Marshall turns it over straight into the hands of Kenny Goins.
That's the 9th turnover for the Wellington Saints. Very uncharacteristic as we see Goins short on that triple.
He hasn't had too many looks tonight. Just his 4th shot of the game. He's only got 2 points and 2 rebounds. Kenny Goins. Mazinski's been involved early. Doesn't get the soft touch.
I do like when the Wellington Saints put the ball in Hiram Harris's hands, and he can be a creator. Very unselfish creator.
Nick Mazinski just said to Isaac Miller-Jose, just shoot the ball, man, because I ain't coming out there. And you know what? He shot the ball.
And it's the first triple for the Manawatū Jets. Unlikely first triple.
On the reverse.
Miller-Jose doesn't shoot a lot of those, I don't think.
I think it's just his 2nd 3 of the season, actually. Harris responds at the other end. Rose on the drive again, getting caught up in traffic. He's done that a few times tonight. You made that point earlier that in the G League they got the 3-second
defensive 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. And so guys just can't pack in the paint in the G League like they can internationally. FIBA rules are a little bit different.
Geez, I thought Miller-Jose was going to have another ping there. Got on the drive, missed it. Quickly up the floor. Marshall. So athletic, Nick Marshall.
And just smooth. He's Shakespeare. It's poetry in motion.
His nickname should be Silk. Silky smooth turnover. Illy has Liafa. The pass was absolutely sublime.
That deserved to go. We need those to go just so we can get that triple-double happening.
Step back, Miles Gibson. Now, this is one man who can absolutely fire up the Jets.
And already 2 triples this quarter, 2.5 minutes in.
12 in the game for Gibson, averages 25 a game. Marshall kept his pivot foot down. Mazinski on Miller-Jose, who has 3 fouls. Just turns it around and hooks it in.
And the patience down low. Absolutely fantastic job. You could see him lift his head up, check the clock at the other end, takes his time, gets to the middle for the hook.
Margin back to 20. Rose, Miller-Jose spinning, trying to return favour on that hook. Marshall again. Loose pass, that's come off the hand of Miles Gibson. I'll tell you what, one great thing about heading out to a game of basketball is there's every chance the molten is going to land on your table or in your lap at some stage.
If you're sitting up close, it's going to happen. We've already seen Jordan Nartai's partner get sort of drowned with a drink earlier in the game as a ball knocked a drink off a table.
So much fun, isn't it? Marshall up and under is fouled. He's off to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Of course, one of the great things about this competition is that pass. Is you get to meet the players straight after the game, up and down the country in the Salons NBL. After the game, everyone's invited down onto the court to meet the players, and the Saints are usually swamped, especially by the kids.
Oh, but what a great incentive, and you see some of these kids be able to come and watch the game. Same with the Toihi League.
Yeah.
And just come and meet some pretty big superstars.
There's some of the kids. Young one there has got the earmuffs on, a little bit loud in here.
Little Nartai, that's Jordan's daughter. Pia. Watching Dad do a thing.
A new Saints fan. Marshall converts 2. They're out in good numbers tonight here in the capital. The Jets have also been attracting massive crowds this season. They've got the Bulls next up at home. Speaking of the Bulls, they're in action tomorrow against the Giants. Catch that one also live and free on Sky Open. Dante Russo-Nance with the foul. And we've got a Southern Stoush tomorrow night down at ILT Stadium Southland in Invercargill. The Sharks against the Nuggets. And our first look this season at the Sharks at absolute full strength. Sam Timmins comes into that team. Look out.
Yeah, and in terms of size and his ability to play, that is a big addition to the Sharks lineup.
Illy. Game high margin of 22 right now. If the Jets don't come up with something special pretty quick, this one is in the books.
The Jets have not shot the ball well. Just 2 of 13 Goins, creating some touches for himself on the offensive glass.
Is that a case of Casey Frank's stick-to-itiveness right there for Kenny Goins?
I think it might be. I think it might be.
In and out for Liafa.
The Jets Goins can shoot.
Slipping over, Miller-Jose.
Yeah, it's probably trying to do a little bit too much.
Marshall is fouled, and Marshall is headed to the Chemist Warehouse. A slip at one end. A fortuitous opportunity for the Saints, and they capitalise.
And that's the third foul on Dante Russo-Nance. So 3 on Miller-Jose, 3 on Russo-Nance.
Back the other way, Marshall has 3. Miller-Jose takes a seat.
Yeah, that last possession in transition, Miller-Jose probably trying to do a little too much outside his usual job description.
Won a championship with the Saints in 2021, Isaac Miller-Jose, 22 games.
Just a young fella then.
Nick Marshall Can't convert the bonus. Has to be in the conversation. I know we're mid-season, but it has to be in the conversation for All-Star 5, Nick Marshall.
The way he plays both ends of the floor is what impresses me the most. He's not just a guy who's trying to score. He gets down and does all the dirty work on the defensive end.
Fata Paese missed the drive, sends it to the corner. Russo Nance drains the three. They got 3 triples in this quarter.
Yep, which is 3 more than they had in the entire first half.
Dougal meter, Mazinski. Here's Marshall. In and out of traffic. Ends up in the hands of Jordan Nartai, who can't convert.
A little bit of a sloppy possession there for the Wellington Saints.
Jets need some back-to-back baskets. Short, Russo Nance, Illy. Straight up the middle, the pass into the hands of Marshall, and that's another Kenny Goins foul. He's got 3 now as well.
Yeah, the major guys that would be part of your core group as you try and eat into a lead. Now all 3 fouls. Miller-Jose, Russo Nance, and Goins.
You talked about the silky skills of Nick Marshall. He's got to be one of the best lane runners in the Sal's NBL as well. Just always gets up in front of the ball, doesn't he? Runs those outside lanes so well.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? When you've got
Yes.
when you've got Hiram Harris, Isaiah Liafa, Shea Illy grabbing the ball, pushing the tempo.
It's a great point.
And their absolute unselfish nature.
It's a great point.
That is a, you know, Mazinski.
You're going to be rewarded, aren't you?
Oh, it's great to see him get out and run. But the thing that I love even more is it's great to see these guys being willing to throw the ball to each other.
I know there's a long way to go this season. If you look at the Rams in pole position, P1 on the grid. You look at the Saints in P2 on the grid right now, and there is a long way to go. We're halfway through the season. But gee, it's going to take some really good teams to stop those 2 at the business end.
It is, but with teams like the Jets right now, we've talked about it multiple times this evening, they haven't shot the ball well, but they have the ability. And so in a one and done type situation for games, if you can shoot the ball well at the right time, that can break everything open. That's a great part of, you know, the college games. We see Nartai, too big, too strong.
He's back. He's back.
He's back. The March Madness, you know, the one and done, you know, I absolutely love that sort of thing because it really comes down to who turns up on the day and does the thing that they need to do.
And finals on your home court of now, of course, now in the Sal's NBL.
Yes, love that.
Came back last season. Russo Nance. Well, you can't say he's not having a crack tonight, Dante Russo Nance.
He is doing everything in his power to make up for that missing 25. Trying to put the team on his back.
No Corey Webster. Second straight absence for him with that hip injury. Nartai. Illy was held up, didn't stop him. Got to the rack in the end, but couldn't finish. Quinton Rose, been a tough first outing for him. Miles Gibson from the corner. Game high 23-point lead for the Saints. Blew it open in the second quarter.
And this is a team that can just grind it out defensively, as we can see right here.
Oh, Nartai.
That is special.
Just set the table for Nick Mazinski. He had 2 Jets to overcome, and he did that. Mazinski with the foul at the other end. He's got to be careful here. Got to be careful. Show some emotion, but just keep it in check.
And that is a tough one. As I want to see the big fella get out there and block some shots. So it will be interesting to see a replay of that if we do get the opportunity. Where was the contact? And, you know, was it arm? Was it body? I'm
glad he was able to control himself at the end here because the Barnacle officials, gee, not a lot in that.
I concur, sir. I concur.
Nick Mazinski takes a seat. He's got 3. There he is down the end of the bench.
That's all right. They'll just bring in Hiram Harris.
As you do. Gibson with a couple from the Chemist Warehouse, adding some dollars with thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
Good to see someone's adding some.
Hoops in parks and hoops in schools with thanks to Chemist Warehouse and BBNZ. There is the man you spoke of, Hiram Harris. On the drive and off the glass for 2 at 25 now. This is blowing out. Jets fans in the stands have been rather silent tonight. Thada Paese, the 2-guard front out of the Rapid League at the moment. Mata Bonanzo and Thada Paese. Dion Collins. That was tough.
It's almost at the stage now where the Jets could throw caution to the wind and just try any lineup, anything, do something that they haven't done to try and throw this Saints roster and this squad off. Because right now the Saints are looking so comfortable. They're doing what they want when they want.
And dare I say it, the Jets are looking individual right now. Not a lot of structure to their game. And one thing we've seen from the Jets coaching staff this season, Liafa. Cut it out.
I don't know. At this rate, I don't know if we're going to get a Shaley triple-double just because he might not need to play the entire fourth quarter.
Oh, turnover. Here we go. Liafa, Dougal Meter. And there it is. The conversation I was about to strike up with you is we've seen so many times this season where the Jets just let the players, the Jets coaching staff just let the players sort it out on the floor, and they are reluctant to call timeouts. But don't worry about that conversation because they've now gone to the bench and they've called a timeout. But look at that. The margin's at 30. Is it all too late? There's the setup. Yeah, Liafa to Dougal Meter.
We were talking about this not too long ago. Dougal Meter out running the floor, just the recipient of some unselfish play.
Sal's NBL highlights show every Tuesday night on Sky Sport. Take us through some of the Chemist Warehouse stats at the moment. The Saints are loading up. Well,
there's going to be a few highlights to put on that highlight show. A lot of these things, for me, the passing right now for the Wellington Saints, that is half the highlight show right there. And Shaley, 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. He is doing a little bit of everything, and he has been a spark right here. And the shooting of Marshall and Liafa is just pushing it over the edge.
I know they've won their last 5, and there's some real momentum and enthusiasm around the Jets, and Palmerston North is a basketball mad city right now. Those 5 wins all came on their home floor. This is the first time they've been away for quite some time. No Corey Webster tonight, we know that, out with a hip injury. He did miss their last game, that win over the Giants, that overtime win over the Giants. Is this a bit of a reality check, though? Is this a back-in-your-box moment that the Saints are dishing out to little brother up the highway?
Yes and no. I agree that, as we say, Miller Jose.
That's his 3rd dunk of the night.
Get past Harris and get all the way to the rim, finishing above the rim.
Yeah, back to the conversation.
But it is and it isn't. You know, they're missing their guy. They're missing Corey Webster. Now, Corey's not going to make up all of the points that they're down right now.
Down 28, yeah.
But you can't help off Corey. Corey's got the ball, doesn't have the ball. You see Liafa.
Somehow it rolled out. Dougal Meter put it back in.
Dougal Meter's putting himself a handy little game together. Takes himself up to double digits, 10 points.
Well, I was talking, and he gets a steal here. No, just a reach around foul there on Rangi Martiad, Dougal Meter. I was saying in a game earlier this season, similar performance from Dougal Meter. I'm actually really surprised that the Sal's NBL doesn't have a 6th Man of the Year award, and I just want to put it out there again that the league should have a 6th Man of the Year award.
We should know. You should know some people. I don't know anyone, but you should know some people to make this happen.
I've got a little bit of influence. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
I do like that.
He's my man. He is my 6th Man of the Year this year,
and has been such a huge part of this Wellington Saints team for a long time. Spent a couple of years with the Manawatū Jets. As we see Dante Russo-Nance knocked down. That's the 4th triple for the Manawatū Jets this quarter.
None of 11 in the first half from downtown, of course. Saints were 9 of 15 from long range at halftime. Oh, don't tell me. Dougal Meter.
Oh, strong on that one. Let's see, he shot that further. He's normally shooting threes, so a little strong. Russo Nance should play this for the last one. Saints have a foul to give.
Gold helping out defensively. Quentin Rose just cannot land a blow on debut tonight. If you hadn't heard the story, signed with the Saints in 2022, didn't get on the plane. The Saints said, "Where are you, son?" He said, "Nah, I'm staying at home in New York." Here he is with the Jets. His first game is against the Saints, and they lead 84 to 57. Welcome back. Saints won the first quarter tonight by 8, the second by 12, the third by 7, and they hold an 84 to 57 lead over the Jets with a quarter to play. Large 100 pepperoni black garlic pizza. That's this week's special, with thanks to Sal's, available until next Tuesday. $39.99. It's a big pizza and it's got a lot of pepperoni. Get into that one. The Sal's Super Special underway. Last quarter. Dante Russo Nance. Liafa thought it was clean. I reckon he's got
a little bit of ball and maybe a little bit of forehead as well.
Yeah, I think he copped him on the head in the end. And Dante Russo Nance will take an early trip. In fact, he's saying, "Hey, mate, you scratched me down the arm and I've got the proof."
No blood, no foul. Might be a little bit.
Well,
a little bit pink.
It's a decent gouge down the right bicep. In fact, he's still having a chat with, well, it's Hiram Harris now. Surprise, surprise, who's getting in on the act. He's been involved in everyone else's fights tonight, Hiram Harris.
As I mentioned earlier, this is the thing that I love about Hiram. He is going to stand up for every single one of his teammates.
Here's the foul, by the way, over the back.
I don't know if that scratch happened then. Not from that replay. Russo Nance adding some more points from the Chemist Warehouse free throw line.
He's been the shining light, hasn't he? 18 tonight. It's been tough going for the Jets. This Saints team, ominous form. Since that loss to the Hawks, they've had a week off, of course, just to regroup and reassess, and they have come out breathing fire tonight. 1 point margin between these two last time they met.
Great footwork and patience. It's so important for some of the young kids in New Zealand watching this game. The importance of playing off 2 feet.
Marshall, a wild throw.
Well off. That's unusual for Marshall.
You don't quite often see the Molten basketball hitting that GJ Gardner-Holmes sign across the top of the backboard, but that went as close as you're going to get. A miss back the other way. Kenny Goins with his 4th foul mid-court. Jets can't afford to lose him. There's the replay on that drive from Dante Russo-Nance. He's been banged around a fair bit tonight, hasn't he?
He has been the focus of many a defence for a lot of years here in New Zealand. Had a great junior career.
Heading back to the Perth Wildcats.
Yes.
Well, the idea was there, Liafa to Mazinski, and the reason Mazinski didn't get on the end of it is because he was held by Quentin Rose, I should say, who
tried to move, couldn't.
That's his third foul. Quentin Rose on debut tonight, 1 of 10 shooting.
It's a long flight from New York to little old Wellington.
Well, we're having the conversation before the game just about that first game for imports. Pass was really good to Kenny Goins from Dante Russo-Nance. Yeah, that first game for imports.
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one, and a former teammate of mine, as we see, Mazinski missed that dunk, grab his own rebound.
And Miller Jose has been plucked for the foul out of that in the end, so that's his fourth. Very few buck the trend and come out and have a massive, massive game, but Luther Muhammad last season.
Luther Muhammad, yes, he did had a 30-piece, I believe.
Flew into the country that morning against the Giants.
Yes, I believe Derek Rucker was the same in the Australian League. He now does some commentary and does some coaching over in Australia, but an import, he came out and played.
Did the same thing?
Did the same thing. I think he might have had like 40.
Well,
Derek Rucker was very, very good.
Muhammad, I think on debut for memory last season against the Giants, literally in the country for 10 hours and then hit 36, I think. MVP tonight. Voting has opened up. Get in. It's just started. Scan that QR code, fun and free, mixandpick.com, MVP. Isaiah Liafa leading the way at the moment. That'll chop and change over the rest of this quarter. So we'll keep an eye on that.
A lot of blue.
Well, for good reason as well.
Yes.
They lead by 26. Gibson. Been tough going for him tonight as well. 6 of 15, an off shooting night. He has 16 points in the game. Liafa's been sensational.
And it's little quick shots like that right now, if the Jets can sort of get a couple of stops and score, they've had the stop.
Oh, Liafa to Harris, that deserved an assist. And in fact, Hiram Harris just looks across the court to Liafa, and I reckon he just said, sorry about that, mate.
That's one that you want to see go down. When we put we don't do it.
That goes down. That's play of the week.
Yeah, you know, it's something that you'd like to see. The highlight show on Sky TV. Maybe we can just get the pass and clip the end of it.
Shea Ili, 10 points now, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So that is serious triple-double watch. If he stays out there, Liafa another block from behind. Russo-Nance. And a block from Mazinski. Saints come up with it.
Saves the ball. Third
block of the night for Nick Mazinski. Goins cuts it off.
As you said earlier, someone in the front row could get a Molten to the face. Great set of hands right there.
Fun stuff up and back, both ends of the floor. Nick Mazinski takes a break. 3 blocks for him tonight to go with his 14 points and 7 rebounds. Hiram Harris, 8.6 rebounds. Shea Ili, triple-double watch. Nick Marshall has 17. He had 11 in the opening quarter. Isaiah Liafa actually hasn't shot that well. 5 of 15, 4 of 12 from three-point land. He's got 18.
He was very hot in that second quarter.
Mel Bennett watching on with the
Queen's crew right there. Mel Bennett,
Walter Talele and Rachel Talele, part owners of the Tokomanawa Queens. Mel Bennett, assistant coach of the team. Also doing wonderful things on the national and international stage as well.
Short clock for Nate. See what he can come up with.
Gold in the corner for 3. Goins.
I'm almost ready to catch that one myself.
It's a tough pass for Gibson.
Yeah, good hand. Gibson reeled it in.
6 minutes to play. Saints on the way to victory here in the capital tonight. Hope you're enjoying it on Sky Sport. Rose. It just sums up his night, doesn't it?
Little drop of the head after that one.
Liafa likes this matchup on Collins. Gets past him, sends it to the corner. A bullet to Shaylee. Smiles all round between the two-guard front, the dynamic duo.
And what a dynamic duo they have been tonight.
Just think, the Saints could add. Well, let's take Sean Bruce. I mean, Sean Bruce has played enough games to qualify. He's an import. They've got an import spot. Come the business end of the season, this Saints team could add Sean Bruce.
Okay, let's play the hypothetical. Sean Bruce, there are enough games.
Sorry, by the way, I reckon with 5 minutes to play and by 28, Isaiah Liafa sits down. I think his night is done. Maybe Nick Marshall as well.
Hopefully Shaylee stays out there for that triple-double.
Sorry, get back to hypotheticals.
But hypothetically, there are enough games, there are enough rounds for the Saints to bring in an import.
Yep.
In any position.
Yep.
What position do they need the most right now?
Is that a serious question?
No. Where do they
No, they don't.
That's the thing.
No.
They really don't. They're such a well-balanced team. Mazinski's doing a great job. They got Harris as the big. Maybe
a bus driver. Something like that, someone to drive the team bus. They don't need anything else.
Well, their manager Jimmy Pearce has been away for a little while. And,
someone making the sandwiches. I don't know.
And he was a little bit under the weather, so it's great to see him back as we see almost a chip and chase.
Well, this is a procession. Illy to goal. There's another dime.
9 assists
for Shea Illy. That is assist number 9.
So yeah, theoretically they can bring in an import. But who, what position? I'm not even saying who.
Well, Sean Bruce qualifies. He qualifies right now for he's played enough games to qualify for finals. So they could bring in Sean Bruce.
They could bring back, or they could bring in someone else.
Well, they need to do it pretty quick now, so they've got to qualify for finals. There's enough games.
Yes, there are enough games.
But your question was,
what position do they need?
They need someone to drive the team bus.
There we go.
Make the Thursday night dinners. I don't know, because they don't need anything else on court. That's what I'm trying to say.
They really don't.
Margin at 34. This has turned into a clinic tonight. Saints over the Jets. This is going to send the Jets back to the drawing board. Miles Gibson. Another rebound for Mazinski. He's on double-double watch. 14 and 9. Gold. First game for him for the season. Coming back from college, of course. Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's time for the Jets to push any panic button by any stretch of the imagination.
No, definitely not.
You've had a bad one. You've shot the ball poorly, as we see Tata Paesi way off on that one. But it is something that right now, where can we get better and how can we get better, knowing that the Jets are in the mix of the top 4 right now?
This is going to send them to 8 and 5.
Yes.
Okay. The Saints will jump up to 9 and 3. But the Jets' next 3 games, look at that. Mazinski adds another 2. The Jets' next 3 games. Now, I want you to tell me right now, Miles, if you are locking them in for a win. Okay, if you're locking them in for a win on these next 3 games, or whether you think, 50-50.
Yeah. Let's play this game.
They play the Bulls at home.
The Bulls in Palmy? Or the Bulls?
No, yeah, the Bulls in Palmy.
The Bulls in Palmy? That's a real winnable game for them.
Are you
I'm not locking it in because the Bulls have been playing well.
Okay.
But this is a Bulls team that is in that mix with the top 4 with them
but you're
right
not
now.
locking the Jets in for a win.
But it's a very winnable game.
Oh, nice block there from Luka Richards.
Particularly.
Sharks at home.
Sharks at home, I think the Jets can get that one.
So you're locking them in for a win.
I'd like to see them get that one. As we see Pilcher working the glass.
Sharks fans, they're going to take that personally.
They will. The big one for me is how do the Sharks integrate Timmins and Alec together in the front court.
They're listening to you at the moment. So
I'm good with this.
Jonathan Yim will be listening in. So he'll take that personally. And then they play the Giants in Nelson. We saw the Giants, a new-look Giants, take down the Hawks in Hawke's Bay last night. Are you locking the Jets in for a win there?
No.
Just shows you how tough this competition is, doesn't it?
It really is.
Out of all of that, that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
As good as the Jets have been, they've won their last 5. They've been showing up tonight. You look at those next 3 games, nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because Hawke's Bay should, in terms, if you just look at records and things like that, Hawke's Bay should beat the Giants.
Yep.
But the Giants have finally got their roster together and they're going to have some more time together. And this is the hardest part about our league right now. The Phi have made changes.
Yep.
The Tuatara have made changes. Like, all these teams are making changes.
Yep.
The Jets made a change.
Luther Muhammad's about to join
the Tuatara.
And
it's adding talent, adding very, very good talent. But it still takes a little bit of time for that talent to gel.
3 minutes to play here. Margin at 37. Good conversation, isn't it? I mean, we're all experts midway through the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still a long, long way to go, but you can't take any game for granted in the Sal's NBL. Oh, Richards! Oh, my!
Takes the contact and finishes strong.
That is a highlight right there, ladies and gentlemen. Evans Jr. to Luka Richards. And Richards gets it back. Pilcher to Evans Jr. We are seeing a Sky Broadband Rapid League finish to the Sal's NBL tonight. Another 2 for the Saints. That Richards dunk, by the way, brought up the triple figures. I know we've got the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay ready to go on that one. We'll show it to you shortly. What a basket that was.
But how impressive has this Saints unit been defensively to hold a team that came in averaging 102 a game.
Yeah, amazing.
To just 61.
Amazing.
With a tick under 2 to play.
Yeah, it's a great call, Miles Pearce. That's why you're in the chair tonight. The Sal's NBL game record holder for rebounds, Miles Pearce. Have you still got that? Have you still got that record, by the way?
Yeah, still got that. Sharing that with one of the bigs that played for Hawke's Bay last year.
Here we go. Have a look at this. This brought the crowd to their feet. Evans Jr. to Luka Richards.
Great. That's a tough finish. Very tough finish.
There he is. Former Jet as well.
Yeah.
There's a little bit about that between these two teams. Shea Illy and Hiram Harris on the MVP. Liafa's dropped down to 3rd. Well, Shea Illy, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. That's a night's work right there.
That's a very impressive night. Very impressive.
You might have to grab him for an interview after the game, I think. Travel called there. Late on the shot clock. That won't count for Crowley Napier. Earlier tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, Saints got the win 36-30. That was a fun game. Saints second on the ladder in the Rapid League. And
that was entertaining, wasn't it? Great deflection there by Kyle Lambert.
And they're second on the ladder in the Sal's NBL as well. Hassan Mounier short on that gold. I reckon that's come off Pilcher in the end, although the Saints are going to get it back.
Not a lot of complaints there.
Music playing here. It's a happy place in the capital tonight. The 12-time champs have made a statement. Another 2. Luka Richards off the inbound. 104-61. This has turned into a serious lesson for the Jets. Turnover. Evans Jr. takes on Manawatū and scores! And he'll get the bonus at the Chemist Warehouse.
And what I love about this Rapid League crew and the bench that's come in for the Saints, they haven't missed a beat. They have added value and added to that scoreline that the starters have put in.
Well, in years gone by, you know, you take Sky Broadband Rapid League away, in years gone by, some of these guys, you know, they may not have seen the court for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks.
Yes.
Now they would have barely seen seconds, but they're now playing big minutes in the Rapid League.
Yeah.
Up against big bodies, gaining this experience and this development, and they come out and they get this opportunity and they're ready for it.
And we saw with the under 17
Last year.
that got fourth last year, and you know, what an exciting opportunity for the junior tall black group that's just been announced.
Oh, so
what a finish.
Listen to the crowd. They are on their feet.
But,
the young locals. And they're going to get the win.
And what a big win.
Mills Albert, Wellington Saints make a statement tonight. The Red Hot Jets came in on a 5-game winning streak. And they have been put back in the box for now. We know they're going to respond. We know they will come back hard in the future. They've got a tough run coming up. But tonight, Wellington is blue. Shea Ili, near triple-double, starred this evening. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists and 2 steals. And this is a big, big win. 47 points in the end. One of the biggest wins of the season. In fact, I think it's the second biggest win of the Salm's NBL season. The Rams took down the Tuatara by 53. And tonight, the margin 6 shy of that at 47. What a win in the end for the Saints. And they all got in on the party, didn't they? 27-19 first quarter, 32-20 second quarter, 25-18 third quarter, and the last quarter, 24-4. The Jets held to just 4 points in the fourth quarter as the Saints steamrolled them to win 108-61. Of course, last time out at home, they went down to the Hawks. They've certainly responded for their hometown fans tonight. No Corey Webster this evening. Out for a second game straight with a hip injury. That'll be a watch this space in the days and weeks ahead. Shea Ili was a star tonight. So too Isaiah Liafa, and here is Isaiah with Miles Pierce.
Zay, after a couple of weeks off, you guys came out and really rolled in that one. How did you get going?
Yeah, I think it was a group effort, and obviously the 2 weeks kind of helped the team just regroup and kind of get away from basketball for a little while, and then kind of regroup this week. And I think we did a good job, you know, connecting and, you know, staying together and staying positive.
You guys have got an unbelievable performance now, but some tough games coming up. How do you take this momentum and use it for your upcoming battles?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we play 5 next week and then followed by Tuatara, but, you know, we're going to celebrate this one. Obviously, getting wins in this league is tough, so celebrating small wins, and then, you know, tomorrow, Monday, kind of lock back into what we need to do.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the win.
So there's Isaiah Liafa. Not often you see this in the Sal's NBL. All 12 players have scored for the Saints tonight. That's why the crowd was up and going. One man who's back in town, the Prince of Porirua, back in blue. His 8th season now with the Saints. Here he is with Miles Pierce.
Welcome home, mate. It was great to see you back out there in the blue. How do you feel after that?
I mean, it's always good, a nice win to come back. But we still got a lot to do. We still got a lot to build on, but take it step by step.
Step by step seems pretty good with a margin like that. So how are you going to find your feet in a really talented group?
For me, I'm just a complimentary piece. Like, I'm here to kind of compliment Shea and Zay and Hiram and everyone else. Like, yes, I'll do my part, but for me, it's just trying to compliment them, making sure that they bring me up to speed with everything that's supposed to be happening, and just go out there and have fun like we did today.
Maybe compliment you more by throwing it into the poster occasionally, right? That's good. Hey, it's great to see you back in blue, and congratulations on the big win.
It's good to be back.
Good to have you back, isn't it? Jordan Artai, he'll be with the Saints for the rest of season 2025. Big winners tonight, 108-61. Let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats and see how this one finished. As I said, every Saints player scored. They ended up shooting at 52% tonight. The Jets shot at 26%.
That's not a lot of the percent.
And this is, second highest scoring team in the competition. 102 coming in, held to 61. I mean, look at these stats, just dominated by the Saints. Mazinski was great. Russo Nance certainly did his bit for the Jets.
Oh, he did. He put out and fought Gibson with 17, and it was a tough 17. But if you look at the way this Saints team is built, Liafa, Illy, adding Nartai, who's great defensively.
Liafa 4 blocks, by the way.
It's huge. Harris, like we've got Marshall. They've got so many guys that are not only able, but willing to be a huge piece on the defensive end.
I want to take you through some more Chemist Warehouse stats just to emphasise how much of a smackdown this was tonight. There's the kids. They're ready to come on and meet the players. That's what we were talking about earlier in the Sal's NBL. They're going to swamp their fans. The fans are going to swamp the players in a short time. Have a look at, listen to some of these for stats, Miles Pierce. So points in the paint tonight. Saints 52, Jets 28. As I said, shooting percentage 52% to 26%. Jets shot 14% from beyond the arc. Rebound 50 to 45. 17 turnovers for the Jets. The bench points 32 for the Saints, 7 for the Jets. Points from turnovers 27 for the Saints, 14 for the Jets. And the biggest lead of the game was the margin at the end at 47. Fast break points 19 to 4. I mean, it is completely one-sided.
It really is. Like, the one thing that you can take away from this is the league better watch out if the Saints are going to play like this week in, week out. That is a dangerous thing for every other team in our league.
Big winners tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Saints home by 47. This is what's ahead. Bulls and the Giants tomorrow afternoon. That game also live on Sky Open in New Zealand. Sharks and the Nuggets. The Southern Stoush tomorrow night. Sharks have Sam Timmins joining them. They will start red-hot favourites. No Jose Perez for the rest of the season for the Nuggets. The Fire and the Panthers, there'll be a statement from the league in the near future, but you can put a line through that one. And the Airs and the Bulls get us underway in round 10. That'll be a big midweek game on Wednesday night. Miles, great to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good to be back.
Nice to see you. To everybody else out there, on behalf of everyone from Sky Sport, hope you've enjoyed tonight. Certainly a night for Saints fans. They get home 108-61. See you tomorrow.